This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the official streaming partner of the WPIAL, featuring exclusive coverage of all playoffs and championships. Stretching across 10 counties, 2,000 broadcasts a year, live and forever archived. Trib, hssn.triblive.com.
The high school football tradition in Beaver County lives right here on Beaver County Radio.
It is complete to John Lucas at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
College of Beaver County, Electric Garage Door Sales, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Heritage Valley Health System, Drug Free Aliquippa. The laws we're about to get kicking off on Beaver County Radio.
And Technology Center pregame show is just underway here from Oak Hill Field with Jason Colangelo. Last week, Gabe Haddix went out with an injury in the second quarter. I talked to our program director today, and New Brighton grad Frank Sparks, and he said that he got hurt early. And I talked to Coach Joe Greco, and he confirmed he is out for the season. It's one of those Tommy John injuries. His elbow probably will cost him all a basketball season as well, and he was a pretty good ball player. And they're going with the youngster, Gary Pugh, just a soft hand. But you feel for Gabe. He's in basketball as well. Unfortunate injury. And what a tough loss last week for New Brighton against Mohawk. They scored a touchdown late in the game, but they missed a two-pointer. They had to go for two, and they lost to the Warriors 28-26. On the other side, Beaver Falls picks up its Fighting Tigers of Nick Nardone to get its first victory. They beat Elwood City 49-0. Now, I don't know how much you can gauge from that because Elwood has been on a long losing streak that has extended into 3 years. But at least it's a win, and Beaver Falls hoping to get another win in the battle for the JUG.
Yeah, it has been an emotional toll for New Brighton on the scoreboard because they've lost a lot of close football games. But now when you lose your leader and a senior in quarterback Gabe Haddix, that's even more of an emotional blow, and that's something that you're going to have to recover from as a team. And thankfully, they've got a guy in Gary Pugh who's also a senior and is not totally without. Or sorry, I'm a sophomore, but is not totally without experience. Is what I meant to say. Unfamiliar with the position, which is something that you want when you have a backup quarterback. You want to have somebody that's coming in and they're ingratiated fully with what you're doing offensively. So that's a good thing to draw upon. But like you said,
you have a game that's big. Of course, we could talk about the Little Brown Jug, but this is a game featuring two teams in years gone, but more importantly, who's going to grab that win in the MAC. This year is a little bit different. You have Laurel at the top of the standings along with Mohawk. The Shaniks just behind. Those teams could make the playoffs because being that the MAC has 8 members, they'll take 5 of those to the postseason. And that's the good news, that you have some breathing room, but you don't want to fall to 1 and 2 in the conference because after that, it becomes a guessing game and you might have to win tiebreak.
Now, Lawrence County is just basically taken over the MAC conference this year, and it's kind of strange because you're used to seeing our teams on top and the Lawrence County teams fighting for survival in the playoffs. Well, now it's just the opposite. It's turned on its head, and we're seeing those. You remember Lawrence of Arabia? Come on.
Yeah, but you seem to know all the details. I might have to start watching that movie a little more closely. Jason, we have Curtis Walsh. As the broadcast, of course, is on Beaver County Radio and Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. And one of the games we'll be talking about, in addition to ours, South Fayette and Moon. What a start for the Moon Tigers, ranked number 1. They're 5-0. That game's on WNBA with Bruce Fry and Mike Azadian. They'll kick off. It's Ryan Lynn of Moon on the Coaches Corner Wednesday night. Boy, what a breath of fresh air. I mean, he has really turned this program around in the last few years.
Yeah, Moon doing some great things, and they're a team that not to use the cliche, but Moon is on the rise. No question about it. Moon is going to be heard from as we enter the stretch run into the postseason.
All right, we're in Technology Center. It's Beaver Falls and New Brighton. I don't need to say much more, do I? But it's a big one inside the MAC. And we'll continue our coverage from Oak Hill Field after this on Beaver County Radio, WBVP, the new 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, Facebook Live, and by the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
In Beaver County Career Tech Bowl without student loan debt. It's true. With more, here's Beaver County CTC Administrative Director David Whites.
This is David Whites, Administrative Director at the Beaver County Career in the new industrial boom in Beaver County. The training we provide for our students enables them to land outstanding and, quite frankly, lucrative careers in the trades, and has changed Beaver County in a very positive way, all at the same time.
Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in you/fall. For more information, right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
Listening to live sports on the radio. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Navigating healthcare should be easy. Heritage Valley Medical Neighborhoods offer the care you need most in one convenient location. Access walk-in clinics, primary care, lab, diagnostic imaging, and other services at one of Heritage Valley's 7 medical neighborhoods. There's no need to travel far for quality health care. Find a medical neighborhood near you at heritagevalley.org. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
And continuing with our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. What a gorgeous night here. Jason, it's such a beautiful day. Normally we would say, please, son, don't go away. But in a sense, we are saying it because it glares right into our view here in the press box. It's starting to settle down now as we approach 15 minutes before kickoff here tonight in the battle for the Brown Jug.
This is always one of my favorite venues in high school sports. I just love the fact that you're kind of right on top of the action, and you're smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood where everybody's involved, out on their porches, getting ready for the game, and the marching band comes right through the neighborhood and gets everybody excited. It is a great place to watch high school football, and the Little Brown Jug is always a great game.
Yeah, well, Beaver Falls took it last year, and it has stayed in Tiger Town with a 44-15 victory over New Brighton. We had that game last year from College Hill on WBVP and the new 99.3 FM. New Brighton would want to win it back. But you know what, though, Jason, I'm sure both coaches, Joe Greco, in his 24th year at New Brighton, two 12-year stints separated by a 3-year stint at Westminster College.
We don't like to talk about that stint up there at the school up north.
That's right. That's right.
We don't like to talk about that.
Well, we're allowed to tonight. But on the other hand, though, you have Nick Nardone, 5th year at Beaver Falls, taking over from Ryan Matzook. And Nick was the defensive coordinator under Matzook when the Fighting Tigers won the state championship in 2016. But both coaches recognize, they understand the rivalry in the Little Brown Jug. I think they just want to win. A win tonight gets them over the 500 mark in the conference. And it doesn't mean that you're going to make the playoffs necessarily. It just gives you kind of a sigh of relief. But you go 1-2, and then really you're putting yourself in a position where you might have to win a tiebreaker here and there. The only good news, if there's any good news out of all this, is that 5 teams from this conference make it. But on the other side, there are 8 teams in the conference. That's why 5 of the 8 will go.
Yeah, and this is a conference that, anything can happen on any given week. But you certainly, if you're New Brighton, as I mentioned, you've had it a little bit. You've had a number of emotional setbacks on the scoreboard because they've lost some close games. You mentioned Mohawk a week ago, but this would be an emotionally uplifting win because you're playing your rival. You're here in front of your home, your home stadium, and I think that tonight a victory over Beaver Falls would really be uplifting to this group, especially given the loss of Gabe Haddix.
And that is an area that New Brighton has to address. Tonight it's Gary Pugh, the sophomore, who will be the quarterback with Haddix out for the season with the Tommy John injury. Now, Beaver Falls, on the other hand, coming off a WPIL championship last year, but they did it primarily with a terrific ground game. Josh Huff and Shalik Livingston. Now, Huff still wears orange, but it's Syracuse orange. He graduated from Beaver Falls, and Livingston also picked up his diploma as well. Beaver Falls is going a different route. Jaron Brichter, the junior quarterback, has a couple good receivers. In fact, let's say 3, Quadir Thomas, Trey Singleton, and Tyler Kane. So it's been a little bit of a different offense. In fact, the leading rusher this year for Beaver Falls is Isaiah Asbacher with 169 yards. That's in 5 games. Josh Huff has been known to pick that much up at a half before. But so it's a different offense, but I think Beaver Falls' best football is ahead of them.
Yeah, I don't think that Beaver Falls, by any stretch of the imagination, has any sense of panic about what they're seeing. They knew that they were going to be a team as young as they are, especially at that skill position, that they were going to have to improve as the season progressed. And we've seen that they have a propensity to do that in years gone by. So I don't think there was any sense of panic from Coach Nardone. I think that he realizes, we're a little green early on, but the big win last week versus Elwood City, the way they won, the convincing fashion in which they won, bodes well for them as well. So they have a big game and a big test here tonight on the road to try and prove that, we're in this thing.
Beaver Falls has lost to 3 very good football teams. Blackhawk in 4A is a decent team, certainly a playoff contender. Aliquippa, what more can you say about them? We had them in the first week, actually the second week of play, but the first week as far as the WPIL calendar is concerned, and they lost to Aliquippa. Then they lose to Laurel, and Laurel, I know it's early, but they could prove to be the best team in 2A. They have been dominating teams thus far, and New Brighton has to go there next week. So you talk about a new quarterback. You got to go against your arch rival tonight, and then next week you turn around and go to Laurel. So obviously Joe Greco has a tough injury he needs to try to overcome, and he's got to do it with a tough opponent tonight in Beaver Falls and the leader of the conference in Laurel next week.
Yeah, Laurel has shown the ability to explode offensively. You have them bottled up for a half, and then they come back and explode. That's exactly what they did against Beaver Falls. So you certainly this conference, the Lawrence County teams are being heard from, and everybody else is kind of jockeying for position behind them. And we're going to find out tonight which one of these horses, jockeys, has got them in the right position after the Little Brown Jug.
Well, this is when the season really gets interesting. Every team in our coverage area, Jason, is playing a conference game either tonight or tomorrow. And we'll have the game tomorrow night, Laurel at Freedom. Boy, John Rosa won't get much sleep tonight, preparing for the Spartans. 6:30 airtime with Mike and Bruce. And Jason, we'll both be in different roles at the Geneva homecoming game, and that's going to be against Washington and Jefferson. And from what I understand, Amos Luptak is a go. We were concerned about his health last week. We might get say hello to Gino DeMarco, but that's going to be a 2:30 airtime. There's going to be a homecoming broadcast from noon to 2 on Beaver County Radio, and let's just hope the weather continues to cooperate. I know Cheryl Johnson and all the fine folks who put so much time into homecoming want to see that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good tomorrow. Sunday is a little bit iffy for those of you that are, have plans outdoors, but tomorrow should be nice, and it was great to see that, or great to hear from you that Amos Luptak is a probable for tomorrow. You know that he had this one circled. The transfer from W&J would love to close it out against the Presidents with a big win.
Other games that Malik Garrett will be looking at from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. The game on WNBA, undefeated, number 1 ranked Moon against South Fayette, a team that's thrown so much and has won state championships. That'll be an interesting one tonight at Moon Stadium. West Allegheny at Bethel Park. That's a conference game. 4A opens. Beaver at Aliquippa. The first conference game for new head coach Court Rouse of the Bobcats. And Short Tears Valley at Blackhawk. That will be on WNBA next week. Aliquippa at Short Tears Valley. And Blackhawk looking to go 1-0 in the conference. The Battle of the Valleys. But one thing these schools have in common, they have both won state championships in the last 5 years. But Quaker Valley's situation has really turned downhill since then. Central Valley's won 17 in a row. Last time I checked, they're number 1 ranked in the state. Obviously, a very tough assignment on the road for the Quakers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those are games that we're all going to be keeping an eye on. Something I'm going to be keeping an eye on too, Bob, that I love to keep an eye on. When we're Facebook Live, we have such great viewers and great listeners throughout the area. I've already had a couple of guys, Fo and Ike, saying, hey, we're watching your live feed. It looks great. So I would invite everybody, ask us questions. We can interact with one another. It's a really cool feature of our Facebook Live.
Ambridge at Hopewell. It'll either be Sherman McBride's first win as a head coach or Matt Weiss's first win this season. Something has to give at Tony Dorsett Stadium. Riverside at Mohawk. The Panthers still looking for their first win under new coach Fran Ramsden. Neshannock at Elwood City. Obviously another tough one. A program that's really struggling at the moment. And we wish the Wolverines well, but it's a very, very tough task tonight against the Neshannock Lancers. Stowe Rocks at Southside. Stowe Rocks right now is looked upon as the number 1 team in 2A. This Southside club, you've seen them, Jason. I've seen them. This team is holding its own pretty well. I wouldn't doubt that they'll at least give Stowe Rocks something to think about in Green Township.
You know what I really like about Southside's ability to possess the football? They can keep a dangerous offense off the field by simply holding on to the ball, not turning it over and having long drives, and that always gives you an opportunity to be in the game late. So, yeah, you're right. I think that Southside can impress some people down the stretch.
Western Beaver has won 4 in a row since they lost to New Brighton in the opener of the season. And Industry in overtime, they'll be at Seton LaSalle. Union visits Cornell. And tomorrow, Rochester against Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. The game was moved from tonight. It was moved to 4 o'clock. Now it's at 2. Those two schools and a big one in the Big 7 at 2 p.m. We'll have Laurel at Freedom tomorrow night. Mike Azadian and Bruce Fry will have the call. Bruce will be doing double duty because he'll be with me in the booth. You're doing PA for Geneva and undefeated W&J. Bruce will join me in the press box for a 2:30 pregame. So another busy weekend on Beaver County Radio.
Yeah, it's good to see the parade back for homecoming this year. It's been a big to-do up there on College Hill this year with the homecoming. It's going to be fun to be part of that.
All right, we're going to take our final timeout. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. It's New Brighton and Beaver Falls in the MAC. Both teams looking to go over 500 in conference play, and we'll return with the kickoff on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org. Paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
Heating and air conditioning at 724-375-7112. They'll answer your call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sue Curlin and her winning team service most brands, and McGee Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and operated. As always, they wish their best to our local teams. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, Main Street, Aliquippa.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
Well, the sun has settled, and we're ready to settle into a good one here tonight at Oak Hill Field on top of the hill in New Brighton. The Lions, 2-3 overall and 1-1 in the conference. They were so close to being 2-0, but they lost a heartbreaking 28-26 decision to Mohawk last Friday night. And to add to the tough loss, quarterback Gabe Haddock's out for the season with a Tommy John elbow injury. On the other side, Beaver Falls wins its first. I know that you can maybe not put too much stock into a win over an Elwood City club that's, let's face it, Jason, they have been struggling, unfortunately. But I'm sure Nick Nardone, which happens to be his alma mater at Elwood, and I'm sure he's just happy to get a W. I mean, they've played some very good football teams and came up shy. They win last week big, and now they got their arch rivals tonight. And what has become an important game, I mean, the losing team really has to look uphill for the rest of the season, perhaps.
Yeah, you mentioned Beaver Falls' schedule, and they stepped up in classification, and they played some teams that were very tough. And you know, you get an opportunity to find out where your weaknesses are as a football team and address those weaknesses. So for Coach Nardone, I think that with the inexperience he had that we talked about coming in, and then the ability to see, what was lacking or what they could do from a game planning standpoint to address some of those areas of concern, that gives you an opportunity to do just that when you're playing up in competition.
So it's New Brighton in their home uniforms, the crimson tops and bottoms and the gold numbers and the gold helmets, and Beaver Falls on the far sideline in their white tops, black bottoms, orange trim, and the black helmets. And we are ready for football on this very, very comfortable first day of October. And we are ready for a big one here in the Midwestern Athletic Conference here in 2A. And we'll keep you updated on what's going on in the other games, including the one on WNBA with undefeated Moon going up against South Fayette. New Brighton will kick off the Beaver Falls. The Fighting Tigers will be moving from left to right here in this first period on your 1230 WBVP, Beaver Falls, New Brighton dial, and on the FM 99.3, presented by St. Barnabas. We're on our Facebook page tonight and across the globe on Trib Live Sports. We're ready for football. It's on the tee at the 40. And Beaver Falls will head toward the north end zone, or their home, you might say, and well, we have the kick, but we'll have to do it again.
I don't know that we were ready for play. It doesn't seem like there's any flag on the field, so it might have just been a situation where we weren't quite ready for play.
All right, no harm, no foul, but we'll have to do it over again.
That's the old false start without a penalty, right? We got under a false start.
Quadir Thomas back deep for the Fighting Tigers. And this one is going to end up in the arms of Siobhan McKelvey, and not much of a return, not a deep kick. And Beaver Falls will start inside its 30-yard line, and we are ready for action. That was Ashbacher on the return for the Fighting Tigers. The quarterback, Jaron Brickner, just a junior, leading this offense. He was the starter last year for the WPIL champions, but more has been put on his shoulders. He doesn't have the great back in Josh Huff, who's now at Syracuse, or the good complement in Shalik Livingston. So Jaron Brickner has been asked to do a little bit more, and he has two receivers to the near side, one to the far side, and a sidecar to his right. He's in the shotgun. And on first down, rolling, and it's Brickner. He sees a little bit of a seam, and he gets about 6 as he gets out to the 36-yard line. So we'll call it a gain of 6 for the Fighting Tigers.
Yeah, that was a design little quarterback sweep there, just to get everybody out to the right side of that formation, get a couple of lead blockers ahead, and plow forward.
So it's second down and 4 for Beaver Falls. Fighting Tigers on the move. And Ashbacher, their leading rusher, came in with 169 yards. Now in the gun again goes Brickner. And Brickner with the option run, and this time he'll lose a yard perhaps. Coming over to slow him up for New Brighton, and that was Deshaun Harmon. It'll be third down, and well, they gave him a generous spot. Back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it third down and 5.
Nice play up front by Christian Kirchner, too, for New Brighton. Kind of blew that thing up. Didn't really allow that read option to take shape because he was already in the backfield camped out when the quarterback was making his read, Brickner.
Tyler Kane, the tight end, in the lineup. He was one of our guests last week for the Coach's Corner. Now receivers, one to both sides. Third down and 5. There was a slight loss on the play. Now rolling left is Brickner. The left-hander pass, he has a receiver, and it's going to be just enough for the first down. They get it to Quadir Thomas. Making the tackle was Parker Kaufman, but Thomas knew where the stick was, and he got just past the lead stick, and it's a first down.
Yeah, Noah Stoppin was in no man's land there for New Brighton. He's out there on that right edge, kind of on an island by himself. he sees Brickner rolling to the left side of that formation, and he has to choose. Do I want to try and stop him, stop the quarterback, and abandon my post and give him that outlet for the pass, or do I want to kind of sit back? He chose to come at Brickner and force him to throw the football.
Mekhi Clark joins Trey Singleton as the wideouts near side. Now the pass and the fly pattern downfield. It is just out of the reach of Singleton. He had a step and a half on the defender, and it's just off his fingertip. It would have been a great catch. It would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down.
Yeah, Darrell Rogers was the guy in coverage there for New Brighton, and like you said, just a step and a half perhaps. A perfect pass it would have had to have been to get it to Singleton. Perhaps for Brickner, just a little bit more air underneath of it, and Singleton's able to run under it, but the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
Richard, better known as Trey Singleton, almost hauling it in, and that would have been 6. Now pretty much the same formation. Thomas split to the left, 2 receivers near each other on the left side. And now a marker is in, or do we have a timeout? It is a timeout. Beaver Falls, they'll use their first, and we'll take a minute. 9:46 to go in the opening quarter. We're scoreless on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Did you ever think you would see a day when no one showed up for big city holiday parades or pro sporting events? This is Renee from Laughlin Insurance Agency in Rochester. If nothing else, this past year has taught us that things we never considered possible can happen, and that no one can predict the future. At the Laughlin Agency, your Penn National Insurance provider, we give you the ability to protect against loss during unexpected times. Visit LaughlinINSAgency.com or call us at 724-774-1230.
When you're a superhero, you got big responsibilities. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. The Aquamen and Aquawomen of the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority really do look after the needs of the community, just like real superheroes. The service we provide really is super, and the dedication of our workers can only be described as heroic. We just don't always wear spandex suits and capes. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, and I'll keep the water on for you. Click bfwater.net.
2nd down and 10 following the Tiger timeout. Man in motion for Beaver Falls, and the gun goes to quarterback and Brickner. Brickner will keep it. Brickner looking for a block on the left side. Brickner stays on his feet. He bought himself about 4 extra yards. Looked like he was going to be stopped at the 44. Does not come down until he approaches the 48-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 7. It's 3rd down and 3.
New Brighton's got to do a better job of swarming to that football. You get the initial stop, but you got to rally and continue to help one another and support one another to wrap up Brickner. He's a good runner.
Jason says that Ambridge gets our first score of the night. Bridgers lead at Hopewell 7-0 from the Fry Transportation update desk. Right here, there's no score. Beaver Falls looking at 3rd down and 3 from their 48-yard line. Spread offense again for Beaver Falls. Brickner will keep it. Brickner will not get there. He's going to be about 1.5 yards shy, and Nick Nardone might have an early decision to make as they are stopped just shy of midfield.
Yeah, a couple of first downs early on for Beaver Falls, but as you mentioned, now this becomes a 4th and 2, so very manageable down in distance, but you're right at midfield.
Well, either they try to draw him offside or they're going to honestly go for this first down. They have about 2 yards to go. It's not a short 2, it's a good 2 yards separating Beaver Falls from the first down. But at least on paper, Beaver Falls is going for it. And it's Brickner on the keep. No, there's a marker that's on the field. So if it's against Beaver Falls, you'd have to believe that Nick Nardone will bring in his punting unit. And it will. Procedure call against Beaver Falls. That moves it back to the 44-yard line. And some different jerseys will be coming out. The punting unit is on the field for the visitors from across the river.
That'll make you crazy as a coach. You get that first down on the quarterback sneak easily and then give it away with a pre-snap penalty.
I believe that was our first penalty of the game.
Brickner is in to punt. You see he has a deep drop back there.
And you have to respect his ability to fake, being that he is the quarterback. But the left-footed kicker is high, and loose football. Who's got it? It's a scramble for it, and Beaver Falls has the football. And falling on top of it was Deshaun Anderson, and the first turnover of the game, and Beaver Falls will start inside the 20-yard line, down to the 16.
Wow, that's a mistake by Keandre Williams. Lots of traffic around him. You got to put the right arm up and signal for the fair catch there. You can't field that football with those bodies swarming around you, and he lost the handle on it, goes right back to BF.
So Beaver Falls punts, but New Brighton muffs the punt by Brickner, and now he'll stay on the field as the quarterback. Brickner as a sidecar. He has 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the strong side right. And a marker is in, and another procedure call against Beaver Falls, and this has to be nagging. 2 consecutive procedure calls, one that forced them to punt, even though they got the break on the miscue by New Brighton. So that'll move it back to the 21, 1st and 15.
And coming off a turnover, you want to be in attack mode offensively, but now having that 5-yard setback with the infraction for the illegal procedure, that gets you behind the stick. So it changes your mindset from a play calling standpoint for Beaver Falls. And those pre-snap penalties, they are killers.
Mackay Clark to the right, Singleton, or to the left, Singleton to the right. Ashblocker behind, and now rolling left is Brickner. Brickner now the little short pass. He finds Quadir Thomas, gets some positive yardage down to about the 13-yard line. So a nice gain of about 8. That gives Beaver Falls some options. Let's see where they mark the football. Looks like they're going to give them to the 11-yard line, which would make it 2nd down and 5 for the Fighting Tigers.
Same predicament that time for Noah Stoffen in an outside linebacker role. He has to decide, do I want to come up and challenge the quarterback and lead the receiver open behind me? And Brickner did a good job of recognizing that Stoffen was coming at him and laid it up over top of him.
2nd and 5, Beaver Falls. Brickner this time keeps it, and he'll be hauled down. There'll be a loss of maybe 2, and Brickner had nowhere to go. The Lions guessed perfectly on that pursuit to the far side, and they'll give him the spot at the 12, call it a loss of 1.5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about let's call it a long 6 for the 1st down.
The Lions do a great job of setting the edge on that right side of the defense and forcing Brickner back into the pursuit. And then the support's there from the linebacking core to finish him off. Nice play by that New Brighton defense. Good recognition.
So it's 3rd down and almost 7. Surely 4-down territory for Beaver Falls. And Brickner will keep it again. Brickner, he sees an opening inside the 5-yard line, and that should be enough for a 1st down, and it is. It'll be 1st and goal. So might you call it a conservative call? Again, the keeper by Brickner, but he got the necessary yardage. He needed 6, he got 7, and it's 1st and goal inside the 5.
Good patience exhibited that time by Brickner, letting his blockers go to work for him and not just diving through that hole, allowing those blocks to be set up for him, and then they execute well, and he picks his way through that New Brighton defense.
6:20 to go in the quarter. Beaver Falls is going to have to hurry here. They took a lot of time getting that play in from the sideline. They'll line up Singleton to the left. Clark lines up as the right receiver. This time on the jet sweep. Getting into the end zone easily is Trey Singleton. He just casually walked into the end zone, but there is a marker on the far side of the field. Let's check the laundry.
Looks like it's
and this could nullify the touchdown, the way that they're walking. Another procedure call against Beaver Falls. 5 yards against the Tigers, and instead of a touchdown for Singleton, the ball goes back to the 9-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal.
But again, that's now you've taken a touchdown off the board for Beaver Falls. They've already taken the first down away from them via the penalty, so it just continues to mount. And they're not good penalties, Bob, because they're not during the course of action. It's prior to things unfolding. So
I said second down. It remains first down with the penalty. We're midway through the first quarter. New Brighton has not snapped the ball. This is Beaver Falls' second possession. New Brighton fumbled a punt, giving Beaver Falls new life. Now they're trying to get into the end zone. Second down. Pass over the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. What a strike on the post pattern by Mekhi Clark. Clark hauls it in. Good for 9 yards, and Beaver Falls has taken the lead.
Yeah, that slant pattern right in front of the secondary of New Brighton. Not a lot of room to zip that one through, but a nice throw by Brickner. He fired a bullet there right into the waiting arms of his receiver.
That play took all of 3 seconds, and Beaver Falls will try to tack on the extra point. And it'll be Tyler Kane to attempt. Straight on kicker, and the kick does not get enough height. Could have been deflected. It's no good. Beaver Falls will settle for 6, but they take advantage of a New Brighton muff on the punt. It's Beaver Falls 6, New Brighton nothing. Back in a minute on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
The Express Lane would like to remind everyone that a happy car is a healthy car. No one wants to be stranded on the side of the road. That's why your vehicle's routine maintenance is so important. The Express Lane offers great specials that saves you money. Hurry in for the Super Oil Change Special. Includes oil change, rotation, alignment check, multi-point inspection, and car wash. The Express Lane, oil, tires, and service center. Located next to the Beaver Valley Auto Mall.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
And the Beaver Falls kick. It's high and short and taken. Oh, and almost breaking it, getting past the 40-yard line for the Lions. And that was Phillips, and the tackle made by Beaver Falls is Deshaun Anderson. But New Brighton will start in pretty good shape at their own 43.
So disappointing last time out for New Brighton to have their chance to go to work offensively and then see it go by the boards on the muff punt. So now New Brighton with a chance to try and cut into this lead.
That was Trevon Phillips. Now Gary Pugh will get his first snap from center and getting to the edge. They got some room to run and getting a first down near the 40-yard line of Beaver Falls. And that is Deshaun Harmon. And that is a first down for New Brighton, a pickup of 17 on the jet sweep.
A little bit of hesitation there from Harmon. He had the corner, may have picked up an extra couple of yards. It looked like it was going to go for even a bigger game, but still a good run and a good start here for this New Brighton offense.
Gary Pugh, the sophomore, it's his job to lose now because of the season-ending injury last week to Gabe Haddix in the heartbreaking loss to Mohawk right here. Now Pugh will keep it. Pugh with a good run, and he picks up about 5 to the 35 of Beaver Falls before he is brought down by Bricks Rawl. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Similar to Brickner for Beaver Falls, I think you should expect Pugh to use his legs here in this offense. He's an athletic guy and a guy that they're going to want to see him running the football.
2nd and 5 at the Beaver Falls 35. New Brighton trying to answer Beaver Falls' touchdown. A modest 16-yard drive that was set up on a fumble by the Lions on the punt was recovered by Deshaun Anderson, and Mekhi Clark with a 9-yard catch. This time It is Pugh. He was able to break the hold. Looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss. Actually picks up a yard, and missing the tackle was Damian Lee of Beaver Falls. We'll call it a gain of 1. We'll make it 3rd down and 4.
Pugh is a guy with good size, too, so he can be a physical runner from that spot. So just going to be interesting to see how this changes the offense, but he's a dynamic playmaker from that spot, too. He can be dangerous with the ball in his hands.
So far, he's been pretty effective on their first series. 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. New Brighton trailing 6-0. Low snap, and now the give, and the first down. Slithering his way through to the 29-yard line for New Brighton, and that is Harmon. And he'll limp off the field, hopefully nothing to be concerned about, and it's a first down to Brighton at the 29 of Beaver Falls.
Over on WNBA, South Fayette is struck first against Moon. They lead it 7-0.
All right, the Lions, they're battle-tested, and Moon ranked number 1. It's early at Moon Stadium on WNBA. Now Pugh in the gun. And his sidecar left is Kevin Williams. And this time they get nothing.
Yeah, and that's because big Samari McCoy stepped up from that defensive line spot and just blew it up for the Tigers, just in the backfield right as the handoff was being taken by Williams, and just nowhere to go.
No gain on the play. And the Lions are looking at 2nd down and a long 10 at the 30. Pugh getting the call in from the sideline. Now the quarterback, replacing the injured Haddix, who's out for the season. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for New Brighton. Pugh looks. Pugh lets it go, didn't get a lot on it, and it goes incomplete. And a marker comes in. Might have been somebody, the side judge might have seen it, and I'll tell you, I'm not so sure about that one. Let's find out the call. It's going to go against Beaver Falls.
Well, that was Pugh's first throw of the night, and it wasn't a memorable one because it was a wounded duck, and it was so underthrown that it allowed the opportunity for his receiver to try to work back to it, and when he did, he was bumped off of his route.
So a big one assessed against Beaver Falls. This is going to take the ball down to the 15-yard line, and a fresh set of downs for the New Brighton Lions. So the interference call coming in from the back judge, actually. Now the give, and there's going to be nothing there. It might have been a loss of 1. Getting the call for New Brighton was Keandre Williams, and Beaver Falls was able to get there. That's Bricks Raw on the stop, and that'll take the ball back to the 16. We'll call it a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
And Deshaun Anderson from that linebacker spot, too, coming in to fill in the gaps there as well.
Beaver Falls leading 6-0. Taking advantage of a New Brighton fumbled punt. Two receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Lions. And the gun goes to sophomore Pugh. Pugh hands it off, and a little yardage in between the tackles on the right side. It went to Kevin Williams, and a modest game. He might have gotten 2.
Kevin Williams at 5'9", 230. He's the guy that's going to do the interior running for New Brighton between the guards and really trying to pound it up in there for them. And then, obviously, they've got some guys that can get to the edge as well.
So it's 3rd down and 10 for New Brighton. They have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In the gun goes Pugh, and now there's going to be a timeout. And it looks like New Brighton will take its first. We'll take a minute break. New Brighton on the move. They trail Beaver Falls 6-0 here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Believe it or not, you can celebrate an international occasion without leaving Beaver County. This is Cindy Hiladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. That's right, we are celebrating International Credit Union Day on October 21st. Come in and find out why credit unions have played such an important role in providing financial services locally and around the world. Meet me and my friendly staff. Click friendlyfcu.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. On third down, heavy pursuit on Pugh. He gets rid of the football, and they're going to say that he threw the ball. There was a receiver in the vicinity. It's fourth down, however.
Yeah, he fired the ball at the feet of Deshaun Harmon, who was an eligible receiver, so there was no grounding call there, and it was a good non-call by the officials, but more importantly, the headline here is it's 4th and long for New Brighton. They got to roll the dice and go for it. They're really in no man's land here.
Well, it would be about a 32-yard field goal, but I don't think that really crossed Joe Creco's mind. Pugh in the gun, 4th down and 10. Pugh looks, going for the end zone, and is caught! Touchdown! Oh, my goodness, Beaver Falls was looking for the pick, and it's a touchdown, New Brighton, and hauling it in was Keandre Williams, and we're tied at 6 apiece.
Yeah, Williams just outfought Trey Singleton. It looked like Singleton was in perfect position to at least knock it down, if not intercept it, and Williams, little hand fighting there to go up and get it at its highest point, just as you teach your receivers to do, and makes a nice reception for the TD. That's a big one for the Lions.
So the Lions go 57 yards on the drive, and
missed the
kick. Extra point, though, is no good.
Yeah, doinks it off the left upright.
Neither team exactly starring in the kicking department on the season. We'll take a 30-second timeout. It's New Brighton 6, Beaver Falls 6 on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
All right, some early scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. It was 7-0 South Fayette leading Moon on WNBA. Aliquippa has increased its lead at the pit against Beaver, 14-0. Ambridge, 7, Hopewell, no score. Mohawk has taken a 7-0 lead over Riverside in the second, and the Shanty beating Windlass Elwood 16-0. Short kickoff from the 20, and taking it to about the 35-yard line for Beaver Falls, and limping after he gets tackled, Jaden Huff, and I believe he's the younger brother of Josh. So it's first down for Beaver Falls at the 36.
Bob, just one other score to pass along from the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk. Union has taken the lead on Cornell, 6-0 Scotties. That's in the second quarter.
All right, that's an interesting one tonight from Franklin Terry Stadium. 46 seconds to go in the opening quarter. It's 6-6. New Brighton going 57 yards for the score, but just like Beaver Falls, they missed the extra point try. And now we got a timeout, Beaver Falls, and They burned their second timeout with 45.7 seconds remaining in the second period. So Union has taken a 6-0 lead over Cornell. The Shanty 16-0 over Elwood City. Mohawk 7, Riverside 0. All these games are something to nothing. Ambridge 7, Hopewell no score. Aliquippa 14, Beaver 0. Southfield on top of Moon 7-0.
And just in case you're a diehard fan, and at this point you've got to be a diehard fan, the Pirates lead the Reds 1-0. That's in the third inning.
Well, okay, but you know what? The Pirates did lose their 100th game last night. We will have the Buccos in their season finale on Sunday, 3:05 the first pitch. And we got an early score. In fact, it's after a quarter. Blackhawk and Chartiers Valley no score at Blackhawk Stadium. We have Shore Valley on WNBA next week against Aliquippa. That should be a good one. Now this time to pass on the fly to Singleton, and it is broken up, but we have a pass interference call, and they're saying that the defender was not looking at the football. He was looking at the receiver and Darryl Rogers. Tough call against New Brighton. Jason, how do you view it?
I don't like the call against Rogers. I thought Rogers had perfect positioning and was stride for stride with the receiver. And sure, he didn't look back for the football, but there wasn't a lot of contact there. And what little contact there was, I feel, was initiated by Singleton, not vice versa.
But the tough call against New Brighton, that'll travel the football 15 yards downfield, and that puts the ball just in New Brighton real estate at the 49. Now Brickner in the gun. Brickner looks, sideline pass, it goes to the receiver, breaking a tackle and getting about 9 yards for Beaver Falls, Isaiah Ashbacher. And he just broke a tackle in the open field. He picks up about 8 to the 41.
And I know it sounds mundane, but that's a good throw by Brickner because it allows his receiver to get moving forward. The ball was in front of him and allowed him to go.
That'll do it for one quarter. The Tigers will let the last 10 seconds run off the clock. Beaver Falls threatening. We're tied at 6 apiece in the MAC, and the battle for the Little Brown Jug continues in a minute on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in your backyard. Check out credit and non-credit classes starting in the near future. Click ccbc.edu/fall for more information. Right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
Ready to start the second quarter. Beaver Falls moving toward the south end zone in period number 2. Brickner in the gun. Looking, passing down the field. Wide open is Thomas, and he drops the football. Would have been a touchdown. It was right in his wheelhouse, and he just simply muffed it. And it's going to be third down for Beaver Falls. They need 2 for the first down.
Well, that's a case of just trying to make a move and turn around and get started before you secure the football. Didn't look it in and just was on his way to the end zone before getting his hands wrapped around that football and tucking it away.
One of those situations where Thomas probably catches it, I'll say 8 out of 10 times. But boy, he would love to have that one back. That was a perfectly thrown football by Thomas, or I should say by Brickner, and Thomas muffed it. Well, they need 2 on third down at the 40 of New Brighton in a 6-6 football game. This time on the keeper, it's Brickner. Brickner, and he's going to be brought down maybe shy of the stick. That looks like he's going to be inches shy of the first down, even though they do give him a decent spot, and they might have to bring in the sticks from the far side. Well, yeah, they will bring in the sticks for a measurement. So the sticks will be coming in. It's either going to be first down by a whisker or fourth down by a whisker.
Just a couple of other scores to pass along for you while we're waiting. Stowe Rock's all over Southside. It's now 22-0. Western Beaver has the lead on Seton LaSalle. That's 13-0. That's a second quarter score. And Ambridge has extended its lead over Hopewell. It's now 14-0 there. Central Valley all over Quaker Valley as expected, 28-0. Those are all Fry Transportation Instant Update desk scores, and Malik Garrett doing a good job of monitoring things.
Oh, yes. Looks like we have everything accounted for except for the West Allegheny Bethel Park score. So between my sidekick and Mr. Colangelo and Malik Garrett, they have the county covered from the Fry Transportation desk. Right here, it's Beaver Falls. They get the first down by an inch. And Nick Nardone has a fresh set of downs. We're in the first minute of the second quarter. Both teams with a touchdown, but missing the extra point kick. Brickner now behind center, and it's a jet sweep to Thomas. Thomas looking to amend the mistake on the touchdown drop, and he gets about 4 to the 36. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, you know he wanted to try and make a big play there after not securing that catch and what would have been an easy touchdown.
So the line of scrimmage now becomes the New Brighton 36-yard line. Beaver Falls got its touchdown on a short jaunt after the muff punt by Keandre Williams. But New Brighton went 57 yards to tie it when Williams, Keandre, scored on a 15-yard reception. How about that for redemption? This time it's Brickner on the keeper. Brickner's not going to get much, but there was a high tackle near a horse collar, but nothing called, and he'll get to the 34. They're still going to need a good 4 for the first down.
Good to see Brickner bounce up because there was a low tackler, and then he got hit above and just kind of bent awkwardly, and you held your breath there for a moment, but he bounces back up. Bob, you mentioned that West Allegheny was the one score that we don't have a beat on yet. Well, we got one now. West A has taken a 3-0 lead on Bethel Park. That one in the second quarter with 9:01 to play until intermission.
We got them all in some way, shape, or form, and you said the Pirates were leading 1-0.
Correct.
Okay, it's a clean sweep then. And we'll talk about those games on the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show with Malik and Bruce till 11. Pass over to Fleming. It's a little high. He tried to get the ball to the tight end of Tyler Kane. Now it becomes 4th down, and Jason, I'm going to agree with you now. They are in no man's land, and surely Nick Nardone is going to go for the first down here on 4th down and 5 from the 34.
And you're probably thinking here, if you're Beaver Falls, what they have done well is put Brickner in a rollout situation and giving him the opportunity to either throw that little short dump-off pass for the first down or use his legs to run for the first down. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him get something on the edge with Brickner keeping it in his hands, and Beaver Falls is going to spend its last time out.
Beaver Falls has to call another timeout. It is a big down. It's 4th down and 5, and we'll take a 30-second break. We're tied at 6 apiece at Oak Hill on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
The law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, keeping promises for over 80 years. Attorney Chuck Garbett.
What we tell them, number one, they cannot guarantee the result. All we can guarantee is the effort and an honest evaluation. Not every case goes to court. Most of them settle. There's a reason most of our cases settle out of court, and that's because over the years, the insurance companies have realized that when we're involved in a case, we do prepare that case as if it will go to trial, and we aren't afraid to take a case to trial. The insurance company keeps a book on the lawyers. There's a lot of lawyers out there that yell and scream and they pound their chest and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But they haven't seen an inside of a courtroom maybe in 30 to 40 years. And the insurance industry knows that. Well, with us, it's a little different.
For your free consultation from the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, call 724-658-8535 or visit them online at lgkg.com.
Oh, lucked out. All right, the play did get off, but now it's being whistled back, and we're going to have another procedure call. That is the fourth against Beaver Falls, and I know that's got to be really upsetting to Nick Nardone. This team right now, they're getting better, but they're not good enough, Jason, to make these kind of mistakes. They don't have the horses in the backfield like they did a year ago. Now you're looking at 3rd down and 10 from the 39.
It's actually 4th and 10.
Oh, 4th down and 10, excuse me.
So,
you're right.
And now you're going to see Brickner in punt formation. Now, I'm not totally sold that it's a punt necessarily, but he is deep in that shotgun, and that's where he punted it from last time. So we'll see if he gets it away. Safe look here for New Brighton.
Well, the Lions do send a man back. Well, let's see. He's going to run with it. He's got all kinds of room. He's at the 20, 15, down to the 13-yard line. It's 1st down. Jaron Brickner, he was able to buffalo the Lions, and he had all kinds of free room on the near side. And it's a 1st down, Beaver Falls at the New Brighton 13.
Yeah, I think that my spidey senses were tingling there, that something wasn't right. And New Brighton had the safe punt on, but a couple of guys abandoned the post and just made it easy for Brickner to get that left edge and scoot up the sideline.
26-yard pickup by Brickner on the fake punt. And Beaver Falls is in business.
You can't say that the Lions weren't anticipating something crazy happening there, because they were in alignment defensively, but just didn't do a good job of executing.
Now Brickner looks. Brickner into the end zone on the lob, and it's just out of the reach of Quadir Thomas.
That was not a
No, was that Singleton? That was Singleton, I believe.
It was not a poorly thrown football, because you really don't even give the defender a chance to make the play on the ball. It's on that back shoulder of the receiver. He has to turn around and make a fine catch, but it doesn't allow the defender any chance or access to the football. So not a bad throw at all that time, but you're asking the receiver to make a good catch on the fade.
That was Singleton, though, the intended receiver. We're down to 8:46 left in the first half. We're tied at 6 apiece. Beaver Falls 2nd down at the New Brighton 15. Or I should say the 13. Now rolling right is Brickner. Brickner rolling to his right, passing left. He's got a receiver. And down to about the 1-yard line. And that is Singleton. He went back to Singleton, and Singleton makes a circus catch, and they have a 1st down, I believe.
Yep, it's going to be 1st and goal. Eric Montanez.
At the 1.
Yeah, Montanez tried to make a break on that football, but just a smidge late in arriving, and that opened the window for Singleton to pull it in. I think 1st down and goal for Beaver Falls inside the 1.
Amidst all of these procedure calls against Beaver Falls, they're knocking on the end zone door. 1st and goal, but still in the gun goes Brickner. Brickner will call his own number, and he gets it easily. And the Tigers have taken the lead, 12-6.
Yeah, nice job by Brickner there, because that was designed to go to the middle of that New Brighton defense, but everything was clogged up. So he just retreated for a step, moved to the side, and went right up in the gap in that defense for the easy score.
That touchdown coming with 8:36 to go in the second quarter. So Beaver Falls with a 64-yard drive, and obviously the backbreaker was the 26-yard gain on the fake punt by the punter and Brickner. Now they'll go for the 2. Brickner behind center. Ball goes to Singleton, and he is in. Singleton gets in on the right side, and Beaver Falls has put 8 on the board. We'll take a minute timeout from Oak Hill. It's Beaver Falls 14 to Brighton 6. Now this on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
Navigating healthcare should be easy. Heritage Valley Medical Neighborhoods offer the care you need most in one convenient location. Access walk-in clinics, primary care, lab, diagnostic imaging, and other services at one of Heritage Valley's 7 medical neighborhoods. There's no need to travel far for quality healthcare. Find a medical neighborhood near you at heritagevalley.org. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
When you're a superhero, you got big responsibilities. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. The Aquamen and Aquawomen of the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority really do look after the needs of the community, just like real superheroes. The service we provide really is super, and the dedication of our workers can only be described as heroic. We just don't always wear spandex suits and capes. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, and I'll keep the water on for you. Click bfwater.net.
And over in on the kick at the 13-yard line for New Brighton. Trying to find some room up the middle of the field. And losing the football, but getting back on top of it after the muff. Remember, they had a muff on a punt that led to a touchdown. And this time, Blake McKay on the return mishandles it, but it took a fortuitous bounce from McKay, and the Lions will begin from their own 36.
You know what? McKay did a good job of not trying to scoop that up and continue the run, just diving on the football to give pretty good field position to his team and a fresh set of downs. Bob, just one pass, scored a pass along in WNBA. Moon is struck back. It's now 7-7. They're tied with South Fayette in the second quarter. Dylan Slava finding the end zone. The point after good, and 7-7 Moon and South Fayette all tied.
Boy, that is a dandy going on at Mood Stadium tonight with Bruce and Mike. This time, Pugh has to keep it. Finds an opening, and Pugh with the stiff arm, but he's got a first down at the 46-yard line, or close to it, depending on where they spot it. Looks like he has the first down. Gary Pugh, the sophomore, pressed into action after the season-ending injury to Gabe Haddix. In fact, he played over 2 quarters last week. Let's not forget that he did get some reps under his belt, and he's done everything asked of him. 1 possession, 1 touchdown, but mixed in a couple of mistakes by New Brighton, and that's why they're down by 8.
You showed a little dance moves on a Friday night here at New Brighton. I'll tell you, that was a nifty little move that he made there, the little stutter step.
First down, New Brighton. And a big hole, and a big gain, and another first down for New Brighton. Deshaun Harmon, who has come up big tonight for Joe Greco. And it's another first down after a pickup of 14 down to the 40-yard line of Beaver Falls.
That's a good call. You just see Pugh run on that little speed option play and taking himself out to the right side. So this time they do the quick hitter up the middle, and a nice run by Harmon on a big hole opened up by that offensive line of New Brighton. They're on the move trying to strike back after that 8-point lead taken by Beaver Falls.
Well, Gary Pugh has done everything and then some for this offense. This time on the give, Harmon again. This time a couple yards and a hanky comes in. You'd have to believe somewhere in the vicinity of holding.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold, and that was going to move New Brighton way behind the chains. So, you know, early on, the indications, they have done some things to the passing game, but it doesn't appear to me that Pugh's strength is going to be through the air. It's going to be with his feet. And when you get behind the chains, it makes things more difficult for New Brighton, because now instead of that, you know, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, now you're backed up way back there to midfield, and it becomes first and a long way to go.
Even though New Brighton got its touchdown on the pass, Beaver Falls gambled, looked for the interception, just a shade too late, and it went into the arms of Keandre Williams to tie the game. But then Brickner scores on a 1-yard run to cap a 64-yard drive, including a fake punt and a 27-yard pickup by Brickner. This time on 1st and 20. And on the end around, breaking free for a huge gain, down the far sideline, down to the 30, 20, inside the 10-yard line for New Brighton, and that is Eric Montanez. He is a game breaker, and it's a first down for the Lions near the 10-yard line of Beaver Falls.
Montanez goes 5'9", 155, but boy, did he show some quickness, and he got to another gear fast in turning that corner and getting a big gainer.
I believe that they're calling it 1st and goal. The ball was smack at the 10-yard line. So let's call it 1st and goal, 7:15 to go in the half. This has been a dandy for the Little Brown Jug. Now Pugh, the sophomore, trying to get this team in the end zone for the second time. This time a mix-up there. There was a collision between Pugh and the running back, and that was Kevin Williams. He might have mustered a yard. We'll give him a gain of a yard. Maybe a yard and a half to the 8-yard line. That's where it's 2nd and goal.
A lot of the damage to this run game has been done out on the perimeter for New Brighton, and that time they try to stuff it up the middle and get a couple of quick ones.
Lions and Tigers, members of the Cat family. They're both 1-1 inside the MAC. This time on 2nd down, it's Pugh. Pugh looking for some room, and Pugh will not get much, and a marker comes in, and you have to believe that it's going to go on New Brighton.
I think it's Montanez. He's out there on that island all by himself, and that was a broken play. That wasn't the design of the play, and I think there was a mix-up in the backfield. Pugh said, to heck with this thing. I'm taking it out of here. Tried to go around the right side, and Montanez was guilty of the hold.
So they mark it from the 8. It's going to move it back to the 18. As we get near the halfway point of the second quarter, New Brighton needing a touchdown and hence a 2-point conversion try to tie this football game. Well, I thought they would have marked it off. Or Joe Greco wants an explanation. Right now, the line of scrimmage is the 6. And when you're talking to the head coach of the Lions, something tells me that there's a change in direction. Well, the officials trying to sort this out, and
yeah, that's
it will go against Beaver Falls, down to the 3.
We'll wait for the official to give us some indication, but I didn't really see anything unless he...
A hold defensively.
So I guess what they're saying is Montanez was mixed up with one of the defenders, and he must have been grabbed and thrown down.
What a big change for New Brighton on that exchange. This time the give, and into the end zone goes Harmon. It's 14-12, and the Lions are a 2-pointer away from tying this one again.
Pretty impressive response from this New Brighton offense to come right back down after getting down 14-6, puts a touchdown on the board themselves, and now just a 2-pointer away from tying it up.
Well, they lost the game last week because of a missed 2-pointer when they were trying to tie the game against Mohawk right here at Oak Hill. And they will try to tie it, albeit the game is not on the line. We still have 6:22 to go in the second quarter. Lions, though, will try to get the 2 to tie this game. And on the end around, trying to get to the edge and not doing so. Beaver Falls was right there. Trey Singleton brings down Keandre Williams. They must settle for 6.
That was just too slow in developing for Williams, giving ground and retreating on that. And, you know, you're defending a very small area from the real estate standpoint with the ball at the 3-yard line. So many guys up around that line of scrimmage. When it takes that long to develop, you're just asking for trouble.
Well, for the second time, they have been denied of 2, and we will take a 30-second timeout. Still 6:22 to go in the half. It's Beaver Falls 14, New Brighton 12. The JUG battle continues on Beaver County Radio.
Did you know there's a grocery store in your phone? How about wandering through the dog food aisle in your pajamas? Well, it's possible when you click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com. Whether it's doing your weekly grocery run or picking up a few items on the way home from work, fill your order from Fisher's New Brighton Foodland from the convenience of your phone or computer. What could be better? Visit GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com for quick and easy pickup later at Fisher's New Brighton Foodland.
It's now 42. 42-0 now, Central Valley.
All right, we'll get you updated on the scoreboard in a moment. Best game of the night, though. Well, best 2 games. It looks like we got them on both ends of the radio. And the short kickoff taken to the 31-yard line. And let's go to the Fry Transportation scoreboard. South Fayette and Moon tied at 7 on WMBA. Aliquippa has increased its lead 28-0 over Beaver in the second quarter at Carl A. Ashman. Chartiers Valley and Blackhawk deadlocked at 7-all. Central Valley now leading Quaker Valley 42-0. Ambridge 21, Hopewell 0. Mohawk was leading Riverside 7-0. It's now 32-0 to Shannick over Elwood. Stowe Rocks with a 22-0 lead at Southside. Western Beaver was on top 13-0 over St. LaSalle. Union 6, Cornell 0. And now the give, and getting some room, and then some, and off to the races for Beaver Falls, and it's going to be a score, a touchdown for Ashbacher. First play, 69 yards, and it's a 20-12 lead.
Yeah, it was a flat foot race between Keandre Williams and Ashbacher, and Keandre Williams is a guy that can fly, but Ashbacher not allowing him to make up any ground, and takes it in for the Big 6.
And the extra point becomes huge for Beaver Falls. If they convert, it would be a 2-possession lead.
There was a penalty marker in the end zone, Bob, but I think that's a post-score celebratory variety.
And we'll see what, we'll get the word from the official. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Beaver Falls. So, well,
a little overzealous with the celebration.
Well, you know what? New Brighton has the option. They're going to take it now. They realize how important this extra point is. So that could be a huge break for New Brighton. The ball goes out to this 18. I don't think Beaver Falls has enough confidence in its kicking game to kick it here. But it's also not an easy chore to ask them to score an 18-yard play on the extra point.
Yeah, that's another penalty that for Beaver Falls, you know, that could, as you said, be a big factor later on if you can't convert on this extra point or extra 2.
So Beaver Falls will try to convert the 2. They lead it 20-12. Brickner in the gun in the spread offense. He has 2 receivers on both sides. Brickner looks. Brickner over the middle. It is bobbled and incomplete. Would have been a nice catch, but it was bobbled, and the Tigers will settle for 6. New Brighton takes the unsportsmanlike conduct call, the backup Beaver Falls, and they could not convert on it. And the score is 20-12 in favor of the BF Tigers. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. 20-12 Beaver Falls midway through the second on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Believe it or not, you can celebrate an international occasion without leaving Beaver County. This is Cindy Hiladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. That's right, we are celebrating International Credit Union Day on October 21st. Come in and find out why credit unions have played such an important role in providing financial services locally and around the world. Meet me and my friendly staff. Click friendlyfcu.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in your backyard. Check out credit and non-credit classes starting in the near future. Click ccbc.edu/fall for more information. Right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
Harmon on the return, a short kickoff for Beaver Falls. New Brighton will begin from its own 32-yard line. New Brighton has scored on both of its possessions in this game, but still trail it by 8. That's an oddity. I mean, Gary Pugh, the sophomore quarterback, pressed into action last week because Gabe Haddix is out for the season with the Tommy John elbow injury, but couple mistakes. Beaver Falls has taken advantage of it. It's 20-12. And this time on first down, Pugh has to take it himself, and he might have gotten a yard. Jason, boy, I'll tell you, even though it was a different set of circumstances, remember last year when Beaver Falls got a penalty after a touchdown reception by Tyler Kane, a very unfortunate occurrence against Wilmington, and that proved to be the difference in the game.
It's just you got to hand the ball to the official and go celebrate with your teammates on the sidelines. When you're doing things beyond that in the end zone, you're asking and inviting trouble.
So New Brighton, after the pickup, now Pugh is in trouble, and Pugh is going to be swarmed in, and getting to him was Ashbacher. How much does he have to do? He just went 69 yards, and now he sacks the quarterback.
Yeah, and all eyes are becoming fixated on Pugh. They know that he's had the ball in his hands, and he's made some things happen with his legs, and they are getting to him now, and they are, as I said, keying on his every move.
It's third down, and they need 18 for the first down.
And you don't want to give it back to Beaver Falls here in this hot offense of the Tigers.
So Pugh is in danger of not leading New Brighton to a touchdown for the first time in this game. Now we got a whistle. It's got to be a New Brighton timeout because Beaver Falls is out of theirs, and the Lions do take one. We'll take a 30-second break. Big third down in a bundle coming up for New Brighton. It's Beaver Falls 20, New Brighton 12. 4:12 to go in the half on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
So New Brighton now left with one timeout. Beaver Falls has none, even though there would be a lot of time if New Brighton comes up shy, and they need 18 yards on third down. And I'm sure Nick Nardone has told his troops, don't make any senseless major foul. No gifts are needed.
But want that football back.
Pugh looks. Pugh down the field and is going to be intercepted by Singleton at the 40. And that'll be the second New Brighton turnover. So Pugh went for the home run, but Beaver Falls had it well covered, and Singleton with the pick. And the Fighting Tigers will start from their own 40.
Bob, all things being said there, that's really not a bad turn of events for New Brighton. You were going to have to punt the football in an incompletion anyway. The punt probably travels about equidistant to that throw, and without the return accompanying it, you give Beaver Falls decent field position, but it could have been a lot worse. 1st and 10 at the 40. Now you got to make a stop defensively.
Yeah, that's a turnover, you might say in name only. I take your point seriously, Jason. I mean, that probably they wouldn't have much better field position, if any, if they just punted it. Now back to throw is Brickner. The pump, looking down the field, look out, and the pass is thrown out of bounds, just out of the reach of Singleton. It would not have been a catch even if he was able to hold on. So it's 2nd down and 10, 3:57 to go in a half. Beaver Falls 20, New Brighton 12.
It was an interesting play there because Ashbacher was out to the left side of the formation behind his quarterback, Brickner, and he was available and wide open, and he had some real estate in front of him, but Brickner chose to go down that right sideline and to try to attack that New Brighton defense. If he slides it out to Ashbacher with what we've seen him do in the open field, it could have been a big play.
Bricks rolled. Now the side car to the left of Brickner in the gun. Brickner looks, gets it out of the congested area, and a nice pickup. Good play by Wall. Good recognition by Brickner to get rid of it because that rush was coming for New Brighton. But they do get about 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4 from just outside the 45 of Beaver Falls.
Bob, I think you described it perfectly that time. Brickner saw the heat coming and sensed that he had that outlet on his left side and just flung it out there into empty space, and that's exactly what you want your quarterback to do. Diagnose what the defense is giving him, and then when that pressure comes, that's what the safety valve is for out there for you.
All right, so it's 3rd down and 4 for Beaver Falls. And a whistle blows. And a marker is on the field. Beaver Falls has had some nagging 5-yarders. And delay of game penalty against Beaver Falls. So that makes the mission more difficult. They need 10 on 3rd down.
Just another example there of what we talked about, those pre-snap infractions setting you back. It was 3rd and 5, now it becomes 3rd and 10.
Chartiers Valley and Blackhawk have gone to the intermission. It's 7-all from Blackhawk Stadium. 2 receivers left and right. 3rd down and 10, Beaver Falls from the 40. Brickner's got some time. He looks, he throws for the home run ball. It's caught! What a catch! Still on his feet for the touchdown of Singleton!
And we got a penalty marker.
There is a marker way back near the line of scrimmage. Let's check the marker. What a grab by Singleton. Broke a tackle, went in for the touchdown. It would be 60 yards, but it looks like it's going against the visitors, and that'll nullify the big score.
Wow, what an unbelievable individual athletic maneuver that time for the score, but it's all for naught.
We got an ineligible receiver downfield for Beaver Falls.
Kind of makes sense because that took a while to develop, and that's when you get linemen creeping up beyond that line of scrimmage.
So instead of a tremendous touchdown grab by Singleton, it becomes 3rd down and 15 from the Beaver Falls 35. 2:55 to go in the half. Beaver Falls out of timeouts. New Brighton has 1.
Boy, the penalties have got to be cleaned up for Beaver Falls. You know, you take away another score off the board via the penalty.
Now back to throw is Brickner. Looking. Pass down the middle. It's going to be caught. What a catch by Mekhi Clark. and that is knowing your receiver. Brickner floated it into Clark in the secondary, and a big gain and a first down on 1st and 15. They get 22 yards on the catch.
That is a great throw that time. That's called throwing the receiver open, leading him into the area you want him to go to and allowing him to gain some separation from the defender. That time it was Kyler Rumbold that was on the chase, but a beautiful throw by Brickner, who's really showing some poise back there when things are collapsing around him, to stand in the pocket, step into his throw, and deliver a strike.
27-yard catch. That was from the 35 down to the New Brighton 38. 2:15 to go in the half, and the run this time by Singleton, and he goes nowhere. The Lions were ready. Deshaun Harmon leading the way. It'll be second down, Beaver Falls, and they'll settle for nothing. That's 2nd and 10.
Just to keep an eye on that clock, which now continues to turn inside 2 minutes with 1:54 to play. One thing to keep in mind, Bob, that's very important. Beaver Falls has exhausted their full complement of the 3 timeouts given to them. They have none. They can't stop it anymore with the timeout. That's something to keep an eye on and monitor as we get to the intermission here.
Clark in motion. Pass over the middle. It's caught, and Kane is tripped up. Looked like he was headed for the end zone, but a touchdown-saving tackle from a Lion, and we're trying to get a number, and that player is lying on his back on the field here at Oak Hill.
Yeah, it's good. Great tackle, and we'll get the numbers shortly, but a great tackle saved the score.
So we have an injury timeout. We'll take a 1-minute break. But Beaver Falls has a first down at the New Brighton 20. It's 20-12 Beaver Falls when we come back on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org. Paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
First down inside the 20. Pass over the middle, and it's just out of the reach of Quadir Thomas. These receivers are going after the football. Brickner has really developed a hot hand, and if it wasn't for a drop by Thomas, this would be a wider spread at the moment.
It has been interesting because early on in this football game, Brickner seemed to be content to run the football, or they were content to get him running the football, but now things have really opened up through the air, and Brickner has delivered with accuracy on several occasions, and receivers were making some plays for him too.
From the 18-yard line. To the left is Thomas. The flanker left is Clark, who's now in motion. Singleton to the right. Singleton in the end zone. It is broken up.
Nice defense. Nicely defended there. They had defensive backs bracketing the receiver. I don't know which one of them got a hand on it. I believe that it was Phillips, but I'm not certain about that, which one actually got the hand on it. But good play nonetheless for New Brighton's defense. Still 1:20 to play, and as I mentioned, we keep harping on this, no timeouts for Beaver Falls. So that may be why we're seeing them utilize the passing game so much in this series.
I want to say it was Darrell Rogers who was there. Harmon was in the neighborhood as well. It's 3rd down and 10, Beaver Falls. They have a full possession lead at 20-12. Now Brickner rolls out, looks, passes caught, and Mickey Clark gets to the 10, fighting for that extra yard, and that might have been the difference. He gets down to about the 7, and that should be a 1st and goal.
And that's important for 2 reasons. Number 1, you get the fresh set of downs, but also it temporarily stops the clock from turning as well at the 109 mark.
Boy, has Mekhi Clark come up big for Beaver Falls tonight. You have Clark, Singleton. We don't have to say what Bricker's contribution is. Kane with a big catch. I mean, they spread it around. They certainly have a lot of weapons, and now a touchdown here would really make things difficult for New Brighton going into the locker room. Bricker, 1st and goal from the 7. Bricker rolls right, and his pass is going to be dropped. That's a tough throw for a left-handed quarterback rolling to his right, and the ball drops in front of Tyler Kane.
Good point by you, Bob. He's rolling to the opposite side, has to stop, set the feet, and then throw across his body, and you're asking a lot of him there on that rollout.
So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 7. 39 seconds to go in the half. Well, we have a 5-yard penalty, so that wouldn't have counted anyway. And Beaver Falls, they'll back them 5 yards.
Now, they've been able to overcome a lot of penalties, but again, time becomes part of the equation as well.
So now it's 1st and goal from the 12. Ashbacher lined up in the backfield to the right. Now the quick drop over the middle. It's caught, and it is a touchdown, I believe it. It sure is.
Another second effort that time after looking like he might be stopped shy of the goal line. Stretching out and getting into the end zone is Mekhi Clark to get it in.
Mekhi Clark with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game, and this does give Beaver Falls a 2-possession lead, and that really hurts if you're New Brighton, Jason, with just 34 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a killer coming into the intermission.
So Kane will try to kick it, and it's up, and it's no good. It's off to the right. He had the height, just not the accuracy. We'll take a 30-second breather. But Beaver Falls has extended its lead just before the intermission. Tigers 26, Lions 12. Now this on Beaver County Radio.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
And we return here to Oak Hill, and a touchdown by Beaver Falls with just 34 seconds to go in the half. Mekhi Clark, 2 big plays, the 27-yard catch, and then the 12-yard touchdown reception. But the kick was no good, but still Beaver Falls has extended its lead to 14, and now the kickoff, and New Brighton will start from the 25. They only have 27.8 seconds. They do have 1 timeout left.
Well, you've not really shown the ability to carve up the defense to the air if you're New Brighton, and you have shown that you can run the risk of turning it over. They may be best served here to just try to get something going with the run, and if it's not there, just take it to the locker room.
New Brighton has just had a tough time getting enough possessions. This is their 4th possession, seconds before the half. First 2 ended up in the end zone, and then a pick that led to a Beaver Falls score. This time out of the pocket comes Pugh, and he is going to be rambled down Oh, my goodness, getting in there. And that was Damian Lee, and he just threw him down like he was a rag doll. Damian Lee with some emphasis, letting the sophomore know that he's not happy that he was trying to get some yardage right before the break.
Yeah, that will take us to the intermission.
That will do it for 2 quarters. It's the battle for the Little Brown Jug, but it's also for positioning. In the MAC, the winner goes over 500 in the conference, and the losing team might need some help later on in the season. We'll talk more about that. But the score at the break, it's Beaver Falls 26, New Brighton 12. Let's take this 2-minute timeout on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
In sports broadcast, the pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. In life, a pre-career start at the Beaver County Career Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. Did you know that graduates are making substantial wages, some over 6 figures? This is possible without student loan debt. It's true. With more, here's Beaver County CTC Administrative Director David Whitez.
This is David Whitez, Administrative Director at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center. BC CTC is proud to play a part in the new industrial boom in Beaver County. The training we provide for our students enables them to land outstanding and, quite frankly, lucrative careers in the trades, and has changed Beaver County in a very positive way, all at the same time.
Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in your backyard. Check out credit and non-credit classes starting in the near future. Click ccbc.edu/fall for more information. Right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
All right, we've completed 24 minutes. Beaver Falls marching band on the field. Beaver Falls marched into the end zone on 4 occasions in that first half. And it all started exactly midway through the first quarter. Mekhi Clark, a 9-yard touchdown catch. It started after Deshaun Anderson recovered a fumble by New Brighton on a punt. The kick was no good. It was 6-0. Then Gary Pugh, who has been the quarterback because of the season-ending injury to Gabe Haddix, he gets a 15-yard touchdown pass to Keandre Williams with 51 seconds to go in the period. That came on 3rd and 10, but New Brighton missed the extra point on an attempted kick. It was 6-6. Brickner, though, the quarterback, 1-yard run, 8:36 to go in the half. And the big play was Brickner's fake punt, and he took it all the way down to the 13, and then the touchdown run by Brickner. Singleton ran it in for 2 to make it 14-6. New Brighton, though, made it close on a 3-yard run by Harmon. Deshaun Harmon with 6:22 to go in the half, but the run was unsuccessful. It was 14-12. Beaver Falls, one play, Isaiah Ashbacher, 69-yard run midway through the second quarter, but Beaver Falls called for unsportsmanlike conduct. New Brighton took the penalty. Beaver Falls tried to pass it from the 18. They come up empty. It was 20-12. But just 34 seconds before the intermission, Mekhi Clark scores on a 12-yard catch. His 27-yard reception set it up. The kick was no good, but Beaver Falls has a 26-12 lead over New Brighton. Later on in our halftime show, we'll be joined by Geneva head coach Gino DeMarco. They got a big homecoming day affair against undefeated Washington and Jefferson tomorrow. But right now, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and then we'll go right into the halftime segment with Trib Live's Don Rebel and Chris Harlan. We'll do that after this minute timeout. It's Beaver Falls 26, New Brighton 12 on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Did you ever think you would see a day when no one showed up for big city holiday parades or pro sporting events? This is Renee from Laughlin Insurance Agency in Rochester. If nothing else, this past year has taught us that things we never considered possible can happen, and that no one can predict the future. At the Laughlin Agency, your Penn National Insurance provider, we give you the ability to protect against loss during unexpected times. Visit LaughlinINSAgency.com or call us at 724-774-1230.
You are listening to the 74th season of high school football on Beaver County Radio. This presentation is being brought to you by the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Heritage Valley Health System, uniquely connected for life, click heritagevalley.org, and Fry Transportation, among others. It's the number one way to get into the game, tuning in to Beaver County Radio.
Week 5 edition of the halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Don Rebel with you. Our little halftime gig sponsored by SC Tire and Export Tire, your local tire experts. They work hard to earn your business. They have your size tire in stock installed today. All the best brands at the best tire prices. SC Tire, Route 51, Bell Vernon. Export Tire, Old William Penn Highway and Export. Shop for their tires online. Check out their Google reviews. It may say Chris Harlan as my guest, but we all know it's time for the midterm reports, and that means it's Dr. Harlan. So we ask that all of our students please show respect and refer to him as Dr. Harlan. Dr. Harlan, welcome.
It's good. Back in remote learning here again. Just, I think the kids kind of know what this is like. It's good to see them back in class, but they've gotten used to this whole online thing.
Yeah, that's right. No more banging the erasers, right? When you're doing it remotely. That was always my way to get out of the class. I'll bang the erasers out in the parking lot for an hour and a half. Anyway, we're at the midway point of the regular season, week 5. So let's get to what you have determined, Dr. Harlan, as some of our midterm grades.
Yeah, let's jump right into the grades here. I'm going to give an A in history to Kiski, Laurel, and Laurel Highlands. I mean, these are 3 programs. They're making history this year. All 3 of them are off to 5-0 starts, and it's been a long time since these teams have been 5-0. Kiski, you have to go back to 1986. Laurel hadn't been 5-0 since 1977. And then you take Laurel Highlands, they've never been 5-0. The Mustangs and star Rodney Gallagher, they're on a historic run here. They got a big one tonight against Bell Vernon if they want to keep that historic run going. But 3 teams are off to historic 5-0 starts. An A for them. A in geology to Mount Lebanon. I'm going to give it to them because geology to me is rocks, it's minerals. And when you talk about the Blue Devils, there's only one thing they're looking for. They're looking for gold this year. It's been a long time since Mount Lebanon has had some WPL gold. 2000 exactly. 21 years. They haven't even been in the championship game since then. But good news for the Blue Devils. They have a coach who's very good at finding gold in Bob Palco. 8 times when he was at West Allegheny, his players ended up with gold at the end of the WPL playoffs. So they've got somebody there who's good at digging it up. Let's see if they can strike gold here later this year.
He's got one of those pans and sifters on the side of his belt. He's always prepared.
He is. I have an A in astronomy to Central Valley because for me, astronomy, you're always looking up. And in terms of WPL teams, nobody this year has higher aspirations than what Central Valley has. 2-time defending WPL champion, the reigning state champion, Right now, they've got the top rusher in the WPIL and Landon Alexander. Everything's looking up right now for this Central Valley team. So an A in astronomy for Mark Lyons' Warriors. I'm going to give here, not everybody gets A's. I mean, some people, you've got to get your grades up. We're going to give a C in chemistry to Gateway because, the Gators coming into the year, when we saw what they had, we thought that offense was going to be explosive. We did. We thought it was going to be the combination. You start mixing in a new quarterback and a Cincinnati-bound wide receiver and the other parts they've got. Unfortunately, in a couple of big games this year, that offense has fizzled a little bit. It just hasn't happened. Their quarterback, Brett Birch, is still talented. He's still among the WPL passing leaders this year. But they've got some stuff to fix if they want to be a contender. But good news for them, it's still just the midterm. They've got time. They can get that C back up to an A if
they haven't broken any beakers, so that's a credit to them.
and one more here. Another one that didn't get an A. We're going to give a B in biology to Pine Richland because the Rams started the year 0-3 and they lost 3 games. And I think some people wrote their season off as dead. They said, hey, they're 0-3, the new coaching staff, everything that happened in the summer, there's no way they're going to come back from this. And then you look at the last 2 weeks. They beat Upper St. Clair, and then they beat Gateway. And I think that, when we use our biology skills and start looking into this and start dissecting this program, I think we're finding some signs of life here under new coach Steve Campos. And I think, after last week's win over Gateway, we might see Pine Richland maybe back into that contender status.
That was well crafted. Didn't know where you were going with that whole biology thing. That's why you are the doctor. We will take a break. When we return, more grades. The midterm report continues here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
Hanging out with Dr. Harlan. He's handing out midterm reports here as we continue with the halftime show, Week 5 edition on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. More grades, Doctor.
Yeah, here's some schools. Again, we're at the top of the class. We're going to give an A in geography to Moon, but really it's going to go to all of those top teams in that Allegheny 6 conference, that South Hills, that geographic region there. I think we thought was going to be a little down this year. The graduation took a lot off some of those rosters down there, and yet here we are coming into this week. In our rankings, the Trib HSSN rankings, the top 3 teams in 5A were Moon, Peters Township, South Fayette. And I think that might surprise some people, but it probably shouldn't. And what it really does, I think that should, give some credit to those 3 coaches running those programs, Ryan Lynn, TJ Black, Joe Rossi, and what they've got there in terms of the stability in those programs. Kudos to that South Hills Conference. I think people were looking east and north, and the South kind of said, hey, South Hills, don't write us off yet. We're still
South Fayette Moon as we speak, one of the bigger matchups here in Week 5.
I'm going to give an A in calculus to Sarah Catholic because, look at this team. They've played 5 weeks and they've got 6 wins. That's some fancy math in my book. Of course, they had the advantage of getting a win and a forfeit win last week, something the WPL teams said teams can do this year, that if your team forfeits on you, you can pick up another game. But still, when you add it all up, this Sarah Catholic team looks like a contender with quarterback Max Rocco. The Eagles are off to a good start, and I think they're going to make some noise here in 2A this season. How about an A in geometry to Central Catholic? Geometry is all about shapes and angles. And when you look at Central Catholic...
Confusion. Geometry is confusion for me. But go ahead.
When you look at Central Catholic this year, their offense has a whole new shape to it. It's an all new formation, new angles, new everything they're doing here. And give credit to their coaches, especially head coach Terry Totten, offensive coordinator Steve Bazilla. They did what they did for so many years, and they've kind of adapted. Now you've seen them more of a spread offense, kind of changing things up. But one thing, though, about Central Catholic, I saw them here recently. They haven't gotten away from what made them two-time WPL champions, reigning WPL champions. They still run the ball, and they still play good defense. So to me, Central Catholic, give them an A in geometry. It looks a little different, but the results are still the same for the Vikings. And one more here. I'm going to give an A in art to Bell Vernon. Leopards quarterback Devin Whitlock, to me, he's kind of been painting a picture for the last couple of years. Instead of happy little clouds, he's painting unhappy little defenders in this painting. And sometimes it takes time for the paint to dry. It wasn't quite ready last year. He's been working on it. And here you are this year. This painting is finally dry. And I think Bell Vernon's ready to hang it up and say, hey, look what we got here. It's a work of art. And I think some of those runs you've seen from Devin Whitlock, some of those touchdown runs are works of art on their own. But to me, let's give an A to Bell Vernon for the artistic ability they've put into this season.
40, 50 years from now, that could end up on the Antiques Roadshow. Who knows? All right. That'll do. I'm trying to get my it's not going to work. All right. Forget it. I was trying to do something, and it just didn't work. But excellent job as always, Doctor. We'll give you a few weeks off. You'll return final grades come week 10.
Sounds good. I'll keep marking down grades between now and then.
Excellent. For the Doctor, I'm Don Rebel. We thank you for tuning into the halftime show. It's sponsored by SE Tire, Route 51 Bell Vernon, Export Tire, Old William Penn Highway and Expert, all the best brands and the best tire prices. Enjoy the second half of the game you're checking out on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
All right, thanks again to Don Rebel and Chris Harlan from Trib Live for their halftime segment. Right here, it's 26-12. Beaver Falls leading New Brighton. We'll go down the scores in a little bit. Let's just give you one. The game on WNBA from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Moon leading South Fayette 14-7. We'll get to some more scores, but we're now joined by Gino DeMarco in his 29th year as the head coach of the Geneva College Golden Tornadoes. And Gino has a big one tomorrow. After the homecoming day festivities up on College Hill from noon to 2, then it's Geneva College football at 2:30 against undefeated Washington and Jefferson. Coach, first of all, you're at least going into this very tough assignment on a good stretch. 2 weeks in a row, you get 42 points. You have to be very pleased, at least in that area, that you're putting points on the board and keeping the other team down.
Well, I think we've improved very much so in all three phases of the game. Since the first outing out at Worcester, and but by far this challenge is. Everyone knows W&J has won this conference 80% of the time since the initiation, since the beginning, and they're legit. They really do. They're doing something different this year. They're running the football with authority. They're playing great defense, great run defense. But our scheme and what we do with the triple option, it just it poses some problems, and people are. Nobody wants to play it, and I know that the system works, and we just got to go out and execute it.
Well, last week you got a scare. Not on the scoreboard. You won handily, 42-7 over Bethany, but your top two quarterbacks go down. Amos Luptak hobbles off the field, and then Brutus Ogilvie, he gets an injury. And we didn't know what to look at. Jason Colangelo was with me at the game, and my thoughts anyway were, could Amos be out for a long length of time? Well, the good news is I'm still a few credits away from my physician's degree. And the second thing is I did not judge Amos Luptak. The guy is a miracle worker. He finds a way to get back on in the field. And it's good news that you're going to have a near 100% edition of Amos Luptak against the Presidents?
Well, there's two thoughts to that. Number one, Bob, I think you should finish that physician's degree. There's ample work still available in Beaver County because of
if God will have me here till I'm 110, then I'll get my degree. Right.
You should be a physician assistant. You would do very well. You could still keep your night job here. Secondly, when Amos went down, I mean, he really thought, we thought that it was over. But, and I mean this in all sincerity, he's one of the toughest kids we've ever had. Everybody knows that. He's a dynamic player, one of the most dynamic players in the league. And I just thank the Lord. We really do that he's going to be able to play tomorrow.
Yeah, that's big news. You're getting some good efforts in the running game. Tyler Lippiat, Zuzak, Jaden Zuzak has been impressive, and the late run by Desmond Lewis. What a nice addition he is from the Lone Star State. And if you get guys like Peyton Shell involved and McLean, who knows what can happen. But your defense is playing a lot better, and obviously you're going to have to play very, very well tomorrow against a W&J team that doesn't ever seem like they take a year off.
No, I mean, they just continually rebuild. They've got a program that they've had and established, and it's something that the college is committed to doing, and then they've done it very, very well. But, Bob, as you look over the years, our games with W&J have been very, very competitive. We like playing them. I don't see why tomorrow should be any different.
Well, you look at what happened in the spring. You had spring football. You were right there with them after 30 minutes.
Yeah, we were there, and I mean, it was 14-7 in the third quarter, and we looked at that film extensively, and they did a good job defensively with it. We need to execute. It comes down simply to this. Can we block their guys, and can we tackle their running back, and can we cover their wide out? I mean, this isn't medical science.
Right. Coach, I think the easiest thing to say is you cannot afford to give short fields to W&J. If you play error-free football, I think you're right there. But W&J, though, has that mystique. They get teams out of their element. But, Coach, at least you go into this game, W&J is not to be confused with St. Vincent and Bethany, but you just wanted a couple of wins, and you went out and you won the last two handily. It gives you some momentum against an upgrade in competition.
It's amazing that in a college football season or any athletic season, the week in itself is about preparation. You go through different types of adversity every week, and though the opponent may change, those adversities and those things that come are the things that gel you together and build your football team. And I think that's where we're at right now. So I'm not going to discount the fact that, we played two teams that, like you said, aren't, in the standings like W&J. But for what was going on within our family and our program at that time with the adversity, with injuries, things like that, those were two really pivotal big wins for us, and I like the way our kids responded. They're fighting. They really are.
They are, Coach. I wish we had more time, but we'll develop the story tomorrow. Hopefully some good news for Geneva as you take on the undefeated Presidents. I'm looking forward to it, 2:30 airtime. Best of luck, Coach.
Appreciate it, Bob. I got one last thing to say. I've been at Oak Hill Field ever since I was a kid, and the one thing that I've noticed, there are no hash marks.
Wow. Good observation. I'm impressed. That's a good note for Gino to leave on. No hash marks here at Oak Hill. And, of course, he played there. He had some big games for the Little Brown Jug. But Beaver Falls with a 14-point lead. And, Jason, what does New Brighton have to do that they did not do in half number one?
Would be a great start for New Brighton, who's going to get the football first to begin this second half, to get off and get off to a fast start in the second half with a touchdown of their own. They only trail, when all the dust settles, you only trail by 14. So there's still, obviously at the beginning of this second half, still a fresh slate here for New Brighton, and they have to get off to a quick start. You cannot give the ball back to Beaver Falls and allow them with that hot offense to score again.
All right, let's go down the scoreboard, and maybe I'm not up to snuff, but I'll give it my best shot. Moon leading South Fayette 14-7 on WNBA. These scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Bethel Park 7, West Allegheny 3, Aliquippo 28-0 over Beaver. Jump in if I'm behind on any of these, Jason. I know Sharp, Tears Valley, and Blackhawk were even at 7 at the half. Central Valley 42, Quaker Valley nothing. Ambridge 28, Hopewell nothing. Looks like Sherman McBride's going to get his first W as the Bridgers coach. Mohawk leading Riverside 15-0. Neshannock all over Elwood City 32-0. Listen to this one. Stowe Rocks 50, Southside nothing. Western Beaver 13, St. LaSalle no score. Union was up 6-0. And the Pirates are leading 1-0.
Just one note there on 1460 WNBA. Moon has now extended its lead out. It's now 21-7 on South Fayette.
All right, so they're early in the third quarter at Moon. After spotting South Fayette a 7-0 lead, the number 1 ranked Tigers have ripped off 3 scores in that one. Beaver Falls, another Tiger bunch, with a 14-point lead. What is it? They lead by 14. The Moon Tigers lead by 14. And New Brighton would like to do something about it. A squib kick, maybe a safe one. I don't think it was by design, perhaps, but maybe I'm mistaken. But New Brighton will start off in good field position at their 40, moving toward the north end zone, toward the town of Beaver Falls. Bob Barrickman, Jason Colangelo, Curtis Walsh, and Gavin Reese handling the cameras and the video for Facebook Live. And again, we want to thank Gino DeMarco for spending some time with us on our halftime break. This time on first down, breaking it out of there was Kevin Williams, and looked like he was going to be bottled up for about maybe a 2-yard gain. He extends it into an 8-yard pickup out to the 48-yard line.
Bob, you joined by Coach DeMarco here. It was great to hear him, but you know, this is a guy who's an expert in the Little Brown Jug. I could have went and grabbed some wings and had myself a good time, and he could have just taken over with the analysis here.
Well, bring him back in if you want to. I mean, I could think of worse things to do, but eat wings.
No, I'm ready to go for half number 2.
All right, that's 2nd down and 2 for New Brighton. Just underway here in the second half. A lot of time, but New Brighton down by 14. They just have not had the ball that often. They've done okay. They've scored twice in their 4 possessions. This time, though, big sack in the backfield as Pugh was trying to run with the football, and he was drilled. And getting in there for Beaver Falls was Damian Lee, and he has been a terror. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Lions.
Don't know that you're not seeing Beaver Falls begin to creep up toward that line of scrimmage, not showing a great deal of respect for the passing game and more focused on how New Brighton is attacking with the run game, especially with quarterback Pugh. They are creeping up. You're seeing the safeties kind of edge their way up into the box.
Could the Lions be in 4-down territory, even though we're early in the second half? Now Pugh rolls right. Pugh looking. Pugh off the back foot, and this ball is going to be incomplete. The closest one of the football was Quadir Thomas, and it's going to be 4th down, and we're going to find out if Joe Greco will gamble, and it looks like he'll play it safe. We are very early in the 3rd period. The punting unit is on.
Yeah, and again, that lack of consistency in the passing game, you're operating without the services of your senior quarterback, and then this down and distance 3rd and 5 that can get you that short-handed reception for the first down. But you can't fault what Pugh's done today. He's done a good job in that role at quarterback, just a little bit different than Haddix.
That was a 3-and-out possession, though, and the punt by Keandre Williams, and that's going to be fielded on the bounce by Singleton. He has some room to the near side, 35-40, and to the 41-yard line, and New Brighton was not looking for that kind of field position out of Beaver Falls, but Trey Singleton is becoming a game breaker. Comes up a little gimpy. I think he'll shake it off, however, and the Lions see Beaver Falls take it over on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you get the big return for Beaver Falls. Doesn't end up netting too much in the way of yardage for New Brighton on the punt. And we talked about the hot nature of this Beaver Falls offense right now. They have been moving the ball at will here and back to work on the offensive end.
Brickner in the gun. Brickner, short drop. Now he lets it go, and it's going to be knocked down. And a flag comes out at, I don't know if that could that be interference? That's hard to believe. That play, Keandre Williams, I thought made a tremendous play. And let's see what this is going to be. It's going to be pass interference against New Brighton. I did not see it, Jason.
Well, Keandre Williams had his hand on the receiver's waist as he was reaching across them. That's the only contact that I really saw. But boy, Bob, the coverage was so good and the break on the ball fantastic. It's very hard for me to justify making that call.
Yeah, I just did not see enough evidence to draw the flag, and it
I
really
want to reward good play, and that was a good coverage by Keandre Williams. Really made a nice break on the football.
And it really is tough because New Brighton is down 26-12. Brickner's handoff, and it goes to Ashbacher. He picks up a couple off the right side before he is swarmed by a number of crimson jerseys. And at the bottom of the pile for New Brighton defensively was Trent Porter, the senior.
And it hasn't necessarily been the power run game that we see from Beaver Falls or that we have seen in the past. They are attacking the perimeter of this New Brighton defense and getting down the field through the air. It's not a, just to try and smash mouth football straight up the middle for Beaver Falls tonight.
Jason, I can tell, though, that how much growth that Jaron Brickner has showed as a quarterback. Last year, he was able to be a caddy to the good running backs in Huff and Livingston. But this is his game, and he airs it out just a tad, overthrowing his wideout in Singleton.
I've really been impressed with his command of the offense, but, from the standpoint of strength, arm strength, it is there. I mean, he can fling it.
Oh, no question. And he flinged it there a little too much as he tried to put it into the arms of Trey Singleton. It's 3rd down and 8. 9:16 left in the third quarter. New Brighton went 3 and out on its first third quarter possession. And they're going to try to force Beaver Falls into a punting situation, even though I'm not so sure Nick Nardone will boot it. Remember the fake punt by Jaron Brickner, and it led to a touchdown.
Some confusion defensively for New Brighton, and that's going to cause them to have to spend a timeout.
New Brighton will take one. We'll take a minute break. Beaver Falls 26, New Brighton 12. The JUG battle continues on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Did you know there's a grocery store in your phone? How about wandering through the dog food aisle in your pajamas? Well, it's possible when you click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com. Whether it's doing your weekly grocery run or picking up a few items on the way home from work, fill your order from Fisher's New Brighton Foodland from the convenience of your phone or computer. What could be better? Visit GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com for quick and easy pickup later at Fisher's New Brighton Foodland. There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in your backyard. Check out credit and non-credit classes starting in the near future. Click ccbc.edu/fall for more information. Right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
pass wide open. It's Singleton. He's going to take it in for a touchdown. As soon as we come back from the New Brighton timeout, Singleton goes 43 yards for the touchdown. Singleton took it from about the 15, and he just wiggled his way into the end zone. This young man wants to be a candidate for our CCBC Player of the Game, and he does a heck of a job, and the Tigers have opened up a 20-point lead.
Just more work, great work from Brickner through the air, and they continue to find the soft spots in that secondary, and receivers with big running room after the catch. All that adds up to some touchdowns for Beaver Falls.
And the kick by Kane is up, and it is good. We'll take a minute timeout, and Beaver Falls now has a 3-touchdown advantage. Fighting Tigers 33, New Brighton 12. Now this minute break on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. Giante Moore could not field it cleanly on the squib kick by Beaver Falls. The Lions will have it in good shape, but on the scoreboard, not in good shape, now trailing Beaver Falls 33-12. Then the Lions will begin from their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, pretty much a must do something here for New Brighton. They got to get it going and get it cranked up offensively to try and work their way back into this thing very soon.
Keandre Williams, one-on-one coverage. Pugh, though, running for his life, and he is going to be swarmed down again, and they're really putting the pressure now on this young man. And coming in to make the hit was Anthony Kusar of the Fighting Tigers, and that'll be a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
What Beaver Falls is doing now is daring Pugh to throw the football, and they're just bringing everybody in the kitchen sink at him, and you're seeing the white jerseys swarm around them, and there's just not a lot of running lanes at all to speak of. And they've become a little bit one-dimensional, have the Lions, and Beaver Falls, the sharp knives are out. They're coming at them.
And the road does not get easier for the Crimson and Gold. They have to travel to Laurel, the undefeated Spartans, next week. Now going for the home run ball, and the ball it's caught by Keandre Williams at the 10-5 touchdown. There were two Tigers in the vicinity, and Keandre Williams comes down with it, and all of a sudden New Brighton is at least back into the picture.
You will not see a better catch at this level as Keandre Williams literally stole it from the defender for the touchdown right along the sideline. What a play by Keandre Williams. That is a big-time play for number 22.
64-yard catch by Keandre Williams with 8:01 to go in the third quarter, and
new life.
Yeah, if there were people who were throwing in the towel, they better pick it up because the Lions have roared back big time, and it's 33-18. Now the kick is up, and this kick is going to be wide left. So the kicking game continues to be a problem. But the Lions do get a quick 6. We'll take a minute break here from Oak Hill. There's life in front of us. The Lions have struck. The score, Beaver Falls 33, New Brighton 18 on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
In sports broadcast, the pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. In life, a pre-career start at the Beaver County Career Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. Did you know that graduates are making substantial wages, some over 6 figures? This is possible without student loan debt. It's true. With more, here's Beaver County CTC Administrative Director David Whitehead.
This is David Whitehead, Administrative Director at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center. BCCTC is proud to play a part in the new industrial boom in Beaver County. The training we provide for our students enables them to land outstanding and, quite frankly, lucrative careers in the trades and has changed Beaver County in a very positive way, all at the same time.
Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
29-0.
Yep.
And this kick, a squib kick, struggling with it is Quadir Thomas, picks it up at the 20, but he knows what to do with the football. He's at the 40, and that's where he's going to get to the 44, a 24-yard return. It started ugly for Quadir, but he hung in there. He refused to pout, and he picks it up, and he gets a 23-yard return out of it, and Beaver Falls will start from their own 43.
Blake McKay's responsibility on special teams for New Brighton is to make sure that nobody gets to the sideline, and he did a great job of turning that thing in. It could have been a lot more. Now it's incumbent upon New Brighton's defense. You get that big score, you get an emotional play on a splash play from Keandre Williams. Now the defense has to make a stop.
7:49 to go in the third. Beaver Falls on the move, but the Lions get the big touchdown reception to Williams. Goal is football! There is a mark. No, there is no marker. New Brighton gets it. They lose the football, and the Lions recover at the 43 of Beaver Falls. Losing the ball was Ashbacher, and the Lions get their first turnover of the game. And all of a sudden, we have a game here in Oak Hill.
Ashbacher's shaken up as he goes to the sidelines, favoring that left leg, but instead of getting the stop, New Brighton goes one better. They get the turnover, and now 33-18, 15 points down. You got a chance to make it a one-score game with a touchdown here.
I believe it was Xander Reynolds who recovered the ball at the 42 of Beaver Falls. All of a sudden, it has gotten interesting here in the battle for the LBJ. No, not Lyndon Baines Johnson. That just came out of me. The little brown jug. This time the handoff goes to Harmon, and he rips off about 4 or 5 up the gut inside the 40 to the 38.
Yeah, a lot of momentum now for New Brighton, and you want to seize that on that momentum and try and get the push into the end zone to make this thing close, because then the pendulum swings to the other side. Now the pressure mounts for Beaver Falls to try and do something on the offensive end. But again, one possession at a time here for the Lions.
This is where New Brighton really has to go for the throat. I mean, they have the opportunity here. They have Beaver Falls back on its heels. Beaver Falls allowed the long touchdown pass to Keandre Williams, and then the quick turnover on the fumble. This time it's Pugh. Pugh with it. Pugh is going to be wrapped around, and guess who? Damian Lee.
Boy, once Damian Lee gets his mitts on you, it's difficult to escape. He swung him around a couple times. And to be honest with you, Bob, I thought he should have got a little bit more forward progress than what he did get, because once he was hit, he really didn't take any steps forward, but he was up further than the 39-yard line.
Well, good news for New Brighton. Lee has exited the lineup for a play. This guy has been in Pugh's face all night long. What a performance by Damian Lee. Just a sophomore. 3rd down and 7. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. 33-18 Beaver Falls. Pugh, and he's going to be dragged down from behind. And that was Ashbacher, who got the top of his jersey, and he brings him down for the loss.
Boy, that is a devastating turn of events there for New Brighton, because now it's 4th and long.
And I think here that Joe Greco will have to just punt it and try to pin Beaver Falls back deep.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting decision here. He's got Pugh talking to him, and
they need 14 yards, though, on 4th down.
I will say this, Bob. If they're not going to go for it here, they'll take the delay of game. That will not be an issue if they don't feel like they get what they like.
Well, this is really risky. But they're going for it, and Pugh running out of the pocket, looking off the back foot. It's going to be broken up. For a moment, it looked like it was maybe going to be caught by Eric Montañez, but it's broken up, and Beaver Falls will take over on downs at their own 46.
Yeah, they had a receiver there, but it was well defended. A lot of white jerseys in the vicinity, so a tough completion there. And you mentioned the decision to try and go for it. You're down 15. You're still 5 minutes left in the third quarter, a chance to pin them back. But to be honest with you, New Brighton hasn't gained a lot of yardage on those punts. They've given up some big returns, too.
Yeah, Joe Greco decided to roll the dice, and
the sack is what hurt him on the play before, Bob, because it would have been 4th down and 6.
I don't know if we gave you the score after 3 on WNBA. Moon 21, South Fayette 13. Now rolling out, and the pass. It's caught. Tyler Kane has some room down the far sideline. Gets inside the 40 of New Brighton. It'll be first down at the 39. Other scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Chartiers Valley has opened up a 21-7 lead over Blackhawk. Central Valley cruising again. They'll make it 18 in a row, leading Quaker Valley 56-7. Mohawk, which is Beaver Falls' next opponent, right here on Beaver County Radio, now cruising over Riverside 29-0. Neshannock 39-14 over Elwood. Western Beaver 13-3 over St. LaSalle. And Stowe Rocks was leading Southside 50-0 in Green Township. Now in the gun goes Brickner. Brickner, he'll try to run it, try to get some room to the near sideline, a stiff arm, and he'll get about 4 or 5. But did he grab a face mask in the process? Let's see what this call is going to be. Play went from the 40 to the 35, but let's get the decision by the referee. And that's going to be, yes, grabbing the face mask, Brickner. He tried to stiff arm his opponent, but he got a piece of the mask, and that's going to be a major one against the orange and black, and this is going to put the ball back in Beaver Falls territory.
Yeah, there is no grasping the face mask on it. That's the personal foul variety, so it's going to be a 15-yard momentous penalty there for Beaver Falls, who has been plagued by penalties all evening long.
They're at their own 46, penalties and all. Beaver Falls still leading 33-18 with 4:18 left in quarter number 3 from Oak Hill tonight. Rolling right, Brickner. Brickner looks down the field. This ball is caught by Singleton. Still on his feet. And he digs for the end zone. I think they're going to call him down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, he stretched that football out to try and get in the end zone. The ball was rolled down and dead as soon as it hit the ground. It bounced out of his grasp.
A 53-yard catch and run by Trey Singleton. And this young man is really coming into being a star. He'll get a break deservedly on the sideline, and Beaver Falls a yard away from getting that 3-score lead back again.
You know, early on in this football game, I was so impressed with what Brickner was doing running the football, but I had no idea of this young man's arm strength and accuracy. He has been impressive tonight from that quarterback's position. And he's gotten some help from his receivers as well after the catch, certainly.
53 yards on the catch. Brickner now. He'll try to run it in himself, and he does. Jaron Brickner, the 1-yard run after the 53-yard catch by Singleton, and Beaver Falls leads at 39-18.
Yeah, what a turn of events there as Beaver Falls turns it over to New Brighton on about the 45-yard line. New Brighton has the opportunity to make it a single-score game. They don't get anything generated on offense. They go for it on 4th and long, and then Beaver Falls marches down the field for the touchdown.
All totaled 54 yards on the drive, and Beaver Falls will try the extra point. Tyler Kane, and this is off to the right, no good. We'll take a minute timeout from Oak Hill. Beaver Falls gets the long bomb to Singleton, and then the 1-yard sneak by Brickner. Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. Now this minute timeout on Beaver County Radio, Facebook Live, and Trib Live.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org, paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
When you're a superhero, you got big responsibilities. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. The Aquamen and Aquawomen of the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority really do look after the needs of the community, just like real superheroes. The service we provide really is super, and the dedication of our workers can only be described as heroic. We just don't always wear spandex suits and capes. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, and I'll keep the water on for you. Click bfwater.net.
Beaver Falls' kick goes out of bounds, so New Brighton will start in good field position. Or are they going to make them kick it again? Well, I guess they're going to take the 5 yards, make them do it over again. Blackhawk has made it closer. They score a touchdown, missed the extra point. They trail Short Tears Valley 21-13 at Blackhawk Stadium. That's the same score. Moon leading South Fayette 21-13 on WNBA. Bethel Park 20, West Allegheny 10. These scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. 3:36 to go, third quarter. High punt. It's going to be fielded at the 20. And New Brighton would have been better off taking the penalty, as McKay can only get it up to the 30-yard line. That's where the Lions put it in play, now trailing by 21.
Well, they need a quick score here. Stretching it out to 21 is Beaver Falls, and you'd like to try and get a score before the end of the quarter here if you're New Brighton to get it back to a 2-touchdown affair.
So New Brighton, they had Beaver Falls reeling after getting a quick touchdown on the pass to Keandre Williams. And then the follow-up fumble by Beaver Falls, but the Tigers stopped them on 4th down. This time on 1st down for New Brighton, and that is Montanez. He'll get it to about the 35, give them a gain of 4. 2nd down for New Brighton with 3:15 to go in the third quarter.
Montanez is not a guy that you can run every play with, but boy, you sprinkle him in there, and he can make a big play for you. He can fly.
Well, he came into the night 6 carries on the season for 77 yards. So he doesn't get it much, but he makes something happen when he does. 12.8 yards a carry. Now that average has gone down a little bit, but he can spark you. This time the give goes to Kevin Williams, and not much there on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 2 for New Brighton with 2:35 to go in the third quarter. Lions 21 down to Beaver Falls, 39-18.
Bob, quick update on the Fraud Transportation Incident Update Desk. Cornell is pulled within 3 against Union. It's now 22-19.
Boy, that's a good one in Coriopolis tonight. Might be seeing the Raiders a little bit later this year. This time on third down, and the give, and it's just going to be where they spot the football, but they give them past the 40. That'll be good enough to move the sticks. So the Lions do get the first down with 2:02 to go in the third quarter.
Got to pick up the pace a little bit, though. You're using time, and time is going to be critical for New Brighton if they're to get back in this game.
Gary Pugh, now the quarterback for New Brighton, after Gabe Haddock suffered a season-ending elbow injury last week against Mohawk. Now Pugh looks. Pugh lets it go. Look out. It's picked off. And intercepting it for Beaver Falls was Quentin Adamson. He was like a center fielder just coming in and picking it off, and now he is hobbled. And I think he's going to be okay. Now, that was Singleton, actually, who went down after the play was over.
They collided, despite the fact that it was picked off. They collided, and he took the worst of that collision. But time in the pocket for Pugh. He did have a chance to set his feet, but he just underthrew the receiver, and the result is the interception.
Third turnover of the night for New Brighton. And Beaver Falls will begin from its 33. Beaver Falls looking to go over the 500 mark in the MAC. They'll have Mohawk, which probably will stay unbeaten in the MAC. That should be a good one up on College Hill next Friday night. Airtime 6:30 on WBVP and 99.3 FM. Now Beaver Falls on offense, starting from their own 33. Brickner, and the counter play, he takes off to the left. Everything was moving to the right, and Brickner gets positive yardage out past the 40, and they'll give him near first down yardage, maybe inches shy at the 43.
Brickner shows the ability to shed that first tackler, though. He's not going to go down easily, and gets on second effort that first down to keep the clock turning for Beaver Falls.
Well, the official says, I don't have to bring in the sticks. I'm impressed by that run by Brickner. I'm going to give him the 10 yards that he's gotten the first down. Minute 30 to go in the third quarter. Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. Brickner, hands off to Ashbacher, no gain there. Harmon trips him up. After the game, we'll select one player from each team as our CCBC players of the game. We'll have our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show. And then Malik Garrett and Bruce Fry will take your questions and comments on the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show till 11. Don Rebel and his staff will bring you the Trib Live scoreboard show till midnight. A lot of interesting games because conference play all throughout the WPIAL on this 6th week of the season. This time, Brickner, boy, is he hit hard, and bringing him down is Kyler Rumbold of New Brighton. That'll be no gain again. It'll be third down. Well, they're going to give him a yard. Let's call it third down and 8.
Taking a look at my live Facebook feed, and you're starting to see Tiger Nation getting a little bit excited here. They're seeing the finish line. A lot of love for Trey Singleton, who's had a strong game as well.
Well, Beaver Falls will let the clock run out in the third. We've completed 3. Beaver Falls hoping to keep the JUG on its side of the river. 3 quarters in the books from Oak Hill. It's Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. On Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas and Trib Live Sports.
Navigating healthcare should be easy. Heritage Valley Medical Neighborhoods offer the care you need most in one convenient location. Access walk-in clinics, primary care, lab, diagnostic imaging, and other services at one of Heritage Valley's 7 medical neighborhoods. There's no need to travel far for quality healthcare. Find a medical neighborhood near you at heritagevalley.org. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Well, we got a final on WNBA. Moon goes to 6-0, and 1460 had the action. Mike Azadian and Bruce Fry from Moon Stadium. Tigers win it 28-13 over South Fayette. This time the ball is bobbled for a moment, caught by Ashbacher, breaks a tackle, and he's got a first down at the 42 of New Brighton, as Beaver Falls would like to tuck this one away. First seconds of the fourth quarter, the Fighting Tigers lead at 39-18, and the Tigers are trying to make it a sweep tonight on Beaver County Radio after Moon defeats South Fayette, and Beaver Falls seems to be on its way, though we are early in the fourth.
Again, another good decision by Brickner to just check that one down.
Another final win. Malik Garrett from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Aliquippa cruises past Beaver 35-7. We'll have Aliquippa on WNBA. Could be a good one at Chartiers Valley. This time a little flip pass by Brickner to avoid a loss because the pressure was insurmountable, but he got rid of the football. Almost a sack by Noah Stoffen of New Brighton. It'll be second down and 9.
Great job by Brickner there, showing the escapability, and bought himself just a split second longer to deliver that pass.
We have a day-night double dip tomorrow. Geneva hosting Washington and Jefferson, 2:30. Homecoming Saturday, airtime. And then 6:30 under the lights at the newly named Jimbo Covert Field in honor of the Hall of Famer, as Freedom hosts undefeated Laurel. This time on second down, and Brickner has to keep it. They're going to let the clock be their friend. Brickner picks up about 3 to the 38 of New Brighton.
Yeah, that's the key part here for Beaver Falls. They want to see that clock continue to churn.
The game was only 14-12 midway through the second quarter, but Beaver Falls comes up with 2 touchdowns, and though New Brighton mounted a little bit of a comeback, they just couldn't finish. This time it goes to Ashbacher, and he is hit hard, and that was Kyler Rumbold on the stop. Now it's fourth down, and Nick Nardone probably will go for it here as Ashbacher gets up a little tender. Should be okay. And well, why don't we take a minute timeout? 9:33 to go. It's Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18 on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
Did you ever think you would see a day when nobody showed up for the big city holiday parades or pro sports events? This is Michelle from Laughlin Insurance Agency in Rochester. If nothing else, this past year has taught us that things we never considered possible can happen, and that nobody can predict the future. At the Laughlin Agency, your Penn National insurance provider, we give you the ability to protect against loss during unexpected times. Who knows what the future holds? Visit LaughlinInsAgency.com.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
And on fourth down, the pass intended for Mackay Clark goes incomplete. So New Brighton will take over on downs from their own 38-yard line. One of the few times Beaver Falls has been denied offensively tonight. And with 9:20, I mean, you're totally not out of the game, but New Brighton can ill afford to have any more downfalls tonight, Jason.
They would really like to get a quick one here, too.
Martinez in motion. Gary Pugh, the sophomore, airs it out, looking down the field, and the ball is going to be knocked away. Coming in out of nowhere to deny the pass to Keandre Williams. And I'm trying to get a number. Was that Clark? No, I don't believe.
You know, that the unfortunate part for New Brighton is that's just a little bit too much air under the football for the young quarterback, Pugh, and that allowed time for the secondary to catch up because they were badly beaten on the play.
It was Adamson. He's going to be okay, it appears. 9:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Second down and 10, New Brighton from their 38. They're down 39-18, and now a whistle blows. And New Brighton will have to use its second timeout. We'll take another minute break from Oak Hill. Beaver Falls in control, leading New Brighton 39-18 here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
In sports broadcast, the pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. In life, a pre-career start at the Beaver County Career Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. Did you know that graduates are making substantial wages, some over six figures? This is possible without student loan debt. It's true. With more, here's Beaver County CTC Administrative Director David Whitehead.
This is David Whitehead, Administrative Director at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center. BC CTC is proud to play a part in the new industrial boom in Beaver County. The training we provide for our students enables them to land outstanding and, quite frankly, lucrative careers in the trades and has changed Beaver County in a very positive way, all at the same time.
Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
After the timeout, Pugh lets it go, and this ball's going to be picked off by Mackay Clark. Just a little bit short of the target. He tried to get it to Keandre Williams, but Clark with the pick, and Clark certainly making his case to be named the CCBC Player of the Game. The fourth turnover for New Brighton, and Beaver Falls will take over at their own 25.
Yeah, this is a case for New Brighton where Williams has been able to make some miraculous catches for him, but not this time. The interception gives it right back to Beaver Falls, and now the Tigers just want to keep possession of the football for as long as possible.
It's all over. And Central Valley has officially defeated Quaker Valley 69-7. So that's 18 in a row for the defending state champions. And Aliquippa defeats Beaver 35-7. Moon over South Fayette 28-13. And as Jason just told me, Cornell has taken a 27-22 lead over Union in Coriopolis. That's a good one going on in the Big Seven. This time on first down, putting his helmet down to try to get him a couple extra yards, and that was Deshaun Anderson, who had that early recovery on a muff punt that led to a score. And now we have a marker on the field. The game was tied at 6-all. And then Beaver Falls grabbed a 14-6 lead. New Brighton has never caught up since. They got to as close as 14-12, but now Beaver Falls is on top handily, 39-18.
Yeah, they've really had control of this football game for a while now, with the exception of that brief time when New Brighton took possession after the turnover and after the score, but they just couldn't do anything with it.
Well, that was probably the unofficial knockout punch when New Brighton could not take advantage of that Beaver Falls turnover because they had all the momentum in the world after the long catch for the score by Keandre Williams. And this time on first down.
If there's one thing that Beaver Falls needs to work on, it's cleaning up the penalty aspect of things,
right.
Bob. You just can't have the penalty. Now, they were able to overcome them tonight, certainly, but week to week, that's just something that's got to be cleaned up.
Well, the second half has gone better in that department. They had a slew of 5-yarders in that first half. But when you have game breakers like they do, you can cover up a lot of your mistakes. But yeah, when the schedule gets a little tougher and you see Neshannock and next week against Mohawk, you want to make sure that you try to play as error-free as you can. That game next week with Mohawk should be a good one. This time breaking free, it's Singleton. He's on the loose. He is at the 40, 35, 30, down at the 25-yard line.
Oh, man, he has been a big-time piece for Beaver Falls tonight.
Singleton on a 58-yard run. Takes it from the 17 down to the 25 of New Brighton. 7:37 to go, and Beaver Falls wants to put this one on ice. Maybe not a good word to choose because it is a pleasant night here on the first day of October. Beaver Falls, still 7:25 to go in the game. We still have the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show to follow. Bruce and Malik waiting eagerly to get that started, but we still have 7 and change plus the electric garage door sales post game. And we got a delay of game penalty against the Fighting Tigers.
It's their second delay tonight, too. Trying to get you a couple of other final scores to report to you, Bob. Nothing as of yet. Last one we had was that Mohawk 37-0 final over Riverside.
Okay, I did not have that written down. So Mohawk, Riverside hung in there for a while in Bessemer, but Mohawk ends up cruising.
And that was a direct snap that time to Deshaun Anderson for Beaver Falls. And I don't know if Brickner, they just have him out of there now or...
Yeah, I believe why risk injury to Brickner? He's done his damage tonight.
Oh, he has been sensational tonight.
6:40 to go. And our toughest piece of business is who's going to win the CCBC Player of the Game Award for Beaver Falls. I mean, you could go a number of directions. I think I have an early favorite, but I won't reveal it. Well, I'll tell you, Harmon puts a lick on Anderson for a couple-yard loss.
Yeah, they pretty much had that one diagnosed. They knew where that was going and flew to the football.
More football to follow tomorrow. Geneva, 2:30 airtime, homecoming Saturday against unbeaten W&J. 6:30 airtime, Freedom will try to solve unbeaten Laurel. Now the direct snap to Singleton, who's still in the lineup, and Singleton to the far side gets a couple, down to the 23. So Beaver Falls heading for its second straight win. They'll go to 2-1 in the conference. New Brighton will dip to 1-2 in MAC play, and the Lions have to go to Laurel, which could still be undefeated if they hold serve tomorrow night at Jimbo Covert Field. And do we have a timeout? Well,
I think the clock was still turning, so Beaver Falls just was headed over to the sidelines, and they'll spend a timeout.
All right, we'll take a minute break. 4:46 to go. Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. The JUG's going to stay in zip code 15010. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621.
The law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, keeping promises for over 80 years. Attorney Chuck Garbett.
Well, we tell them, number one, they cannot guarantee the result. All we can guarantee is the effort and an honest evaluation. Not every case goes to court. Most of them settle. There's a reason most of our cases settle out of court, and that's because over the years, the insurance companies have realized that when we're involved in a case, we do prepare that case as if it will go to trial. And we aren't afraid to take a case to trial. The insurance company keeps a book on the lawyers. There's a lot of lawyers out there that yell and scream and they pound their chest and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But they haven't seen an inside of a courtroom maybe in 30 to 40 years. And the insurance industry knows that. Well, with us, it's a little different.
Pass picked off by Keandre Williams. Was that Williams? No.
23.
No, that was McKay.
Yeah, that was
McKay with the pick. The second turnover, first interception by Beaver Falls in the game, and that was not Brickner on the throw.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised throw because you're trying to throw it all the way across the field, and that's virtually impossible to complete with the defenders in place. But it was fourth down.
So New Brighton will take over after the turnover at the 29 of New Brighton.
Hey, Bob, one score we failed to mention, we got a lot of Penguins fans out there. They got an exhibition game today. They got to win 2-1.
All right. Boy, they're going to have to start off the season without Crosby and Malkin. And this time the give to Kevin Williams, gets a yard. We have a New Brighton quarterback in the lineup, Brian Taylor Jr., another sophomore, getting some late game snaps with 4:12 in the clock turning. Beaver Falls leading 39-18.
Tough night for Southside. It's a final now. Stowe Rocks over the Rams 63-6.
Oh, this Stowe Rocks club is scary. And they're in 2A. Oh, ball was popped loose, falling on it, New Brighton. They will get it. They'll lose about 4. And I believe recovering the football was Trent Porter. It'll be third down and about 4 for the Lions from their own 25-yard line. 3:22 to go.
Yeah, the issue's been decided in that Shannock-Elwood City game, so we got 2 games left with that are kind of hanging the balance now, and that's Western Beaver and Seton LaSalle. It was 19-13, Western Beaver up in that one, and Cornell took the lead on Union. That's been kind of a seesaw affair. It's set 27-22 Cornell over Union.
And what was the Shannock final?
Yeah, the interception
as this ball was picked off by Beaver Falls, and that's Mekhi Clark. Mekhi Clark still in the lineup, and he takes it down to the 20. Another pick. That's the 4th, and I believe that's the second by Mackay Clark with 2:52 to go. The Neshannock final.
That was not a final. It was just late in the game, the Neshannock game. It was. I said the issue was decided, but not final.
Oh, okay. Chartiers Valley Blackhawk has not gone final.
No, that was 28-13 at last glance.
Favor of the Colts.
Correct.
Boy, Char Valley could be foaming at the mouth, waiting the arrival of Aliquippa. That'll be on WNBA next Friday night. And this time tripped up in the backfield is Anderson. And making the start was Noah Stoffen. No gain to the 20. 2.5 minutes to go in this one. And Beaver Falls.
Bob, that is now a final. Chartiers Valley does indeed beat Blackhawk 28-13.
So the Cougars cannot protect home field in their conference opener. This time off the left side is Anderson, gets about 4 to the 16. 2 minutes remaining here at Oak Hill. And the Lions, I thought Pugh was solid, pretty much. I mean, he's been pressed into action.
Yeah, I thought that what happened, though, is as the game wore on, Beaver Falls was on to what they were trying to do with Pugh in that running game, and they just kind of shut it down.
Now the direct snap goes to Anderson, and he'll go down after a yard. Beaver Falls just trying to run out the clock and race to their second straight win, and that would put them at 2-1, awaiting the arrival from Mohawk next Friday night. The way Mohawk started, who would have thought that they would be unbeaten in conference play right now, but they are.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's been a Lawrence County year, and Mohawk is certainly a big part of that up there in Bessemer.
Mohawk stays unbeaten in the MAC. Laurel hopes to on Beaver County Radio tomorrow night. John Rose and the Freedom Bulldogs would like to do something about that. And Anderson hit hard, and that'll stop the clock with 40.7 seconds to go as he is tackled near the 10-yard line.
And that'll give New Brighton one last chance to try and get a touchdown, but pretty impressive win, all things being said, for Beaver Falls. They got command of this football game, and they didn't relinquish it. They had a little moment there after that turnover, but they were able to shut it down and then put it away.
If New Brighton could have gotten that lead down to a touchdown.
Yeah, then things get interesting quickly, don't they?
But after they did not get the touchdown and Beaver Falls comes back with one, then you kind of knew the game was tilted in the Tigers' favor. And that was fourth down, by the way, and so New Brighton will take it over on downs. And Brian Taylor Jr. remains in the lineup, and they'll just run it out. And this Kevin Williams, and he'll be stopped before he gets to the sideline. So that'll move the clock, and that could be the end of tonight's affair. And looks like the Lions are just going to let the clock run dry. And that will do it here from Oak Hill. 2 weeks in a row, Lions end up on the short end of the stick in the MAC. Last week, the heartbreaker to Mohawk, 28-26. This one not as close. The final score, Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. The Little Brown Jug remains in Tiger Town, and Beaver Falls starting to get some momentum. They've won 2 in a row, and Mohawk in a showdown next week on College Hill right here on Beaver County Radio. We'll be back with our Electric Garage Door Sales of Monaca postgame show. Fighting Tigers win it in the Battle of the Cats, 39-18 over New Brighton. You heard it here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. By Barrickman, here for Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200, and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com.
Believe it or not, you can celebrate an international occasion without leaving Beaver County. This is Cindy Haladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. That's right, we are celebrating International Credit Union Day on October 21st. Come in and find out why credit unions have played such an important role in providing financial services locally and around the world. Meet me and my friendly staff. Click friendlyfcu.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
It's the big game of the week, and you've got the best seat in the house. Play-by-play coverage on Beaver County Radio. Today's game is provided in part by Medic Rescue, Keystone Wellness Programs, click KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org, Drug Free Aliquippa, the law firm of Luxembourg, Garrett, Kelly & George, LGKG, and the Lockwood Insurance Agency, among others, right here on Beaver County Radio.
And we return to Oak Hill Field for our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show. The final score, Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. It all started after a recovered fumble by Deshaun Anderson on a muff by New Brighton, and 16 yards later, Mekhi Clark scores on a 9-yard catch halfway through the first quarter. The extra point no good. It was 6-0. But then the Lions, led by sophomore Gary Pugh, because Gabe Haddix is out for the season with the elbow injury. Keandre Williams was able to come down with a 15-yard catch with 52 seconds left in the quarter, and the kick was no good. We were tied at 6 apiece. But then Brickner scored from 1 yard out with 8:36 to go in the second quarter, and the big play was the fake punt by Brickner. He takes it down to the 13, and then he goes in from the 1, and then Singleton ran it in for the 2 to make it 14-6. But then Harmon scores on a 3-yard run for New Brighton with 6:22 to go in the second quarter to cap a 64-yard drive. They tried to run it in, did not work. It was 14-12 Beaver Falls. And then Beaver Falls got a 69-yard run by Isaiah Ashbacher with 5:56 to go in the second quarter. Beaver Falls hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct call. That moved the ball back to the 18, and they tried to pass for the 2 and was unsuccessful. It was 20-12. But maybe the backbreaker was the 12-yard catch by Clark for the touchdown with just 34 seconds to go. Clark also had a 27-yard grab to set up that score, and the kick was no good. It was 26-12. Then, in the third quarter, Singleton scores on a 43-yard reception with 9:05 to go in the third stanza. Tyler Kane kicked the only extra point that was good on the night for either side. It was 33-12. But then Keandre Williams in traffic comes down with a 64-yard catch for a touchdown with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The extra point no good. It was 33-18. And then Beaver Falls coughed it up, and it looked like New Brighton had a great chance to pull within one score, but they turned the ball over on downs, and then Brickner goes in from the one after it was lights out. Brickner to Singleton, 53 yards down to the one on the pass, and with 3:36 to go in the third quarter, Brickner takes it in for the score. The extra point no good. It was 39-18, and basically it was soft pedaling after that. Neither team scoring in the fourth. And Jason Colangelo, 39-18. Beaver Falls the win over the New Brighton Lions tonight.
Yeah, I thought that Beaver Falls really, as I said, took command of this football game about midway through that second quarter. And just for that brief moment after the turnover, it looked like New Brighton had new life and a chance to get it to within a single score. But, Bob, after they didn't do anything with it and gave it back to Beaver Falls pretty much closed things out with a touchdown scoring drive of their own, and that was all she wrote. Pretty impressive performance for the Tigers, especially off the heels of that impressive win a week ago. Now they've got some momentum going as we get to the meat of conference play, and they've got to be excited about coming in to Oak Hill Field and coming away with a little brown jug, or I should say maintaining possession, as they say in Ryder Cup folklore, maintaining possession.
All right. Well, we're going to go to the scoreboard when we come back after this break for Electric Garage Door Sales. Join Robin and her team. Join a winner. Get your next garage door opener from Electric Garage Door Sales. We'll be back to announce our CCBC players of the game, give you the scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. The final score on WNBA, Moon stays undefeated, defeating South Fayette 28-13. Mike Azadian and Bruce Fry with the call there. And here on Beaver County Radio, WBVP and 99.3, it was Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18. We'll put a lid on it after this from Electric Garage Door Sales, returning to Oak Hill and New Brighton on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. By Barrickman, here for Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200, and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com.
There's something for everybody this semester at CCBC. Whether you're leveling up a career or launching a new life, CCBC has got you covered. In fact, CCBC is straight to you. Your local library is now a CCBC classroom. Build career skills and earn college credit right in your backyard. Check out credit and non-credit classes starting in the near future. Click ccbc.edu/fall for more information. Right place, right time. CCBC is right where you need them this fall.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org.
Paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
The law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, keeping promises for over 80 years. Attorney Chuck Garbett.
What we tell them, number one, they cannot guarantee the result. All we can guarantee is the effort and an honest evaluation. Not every case goes to court, most of them settle. There's a reason most of our cases settle out of court, and that's because over the years, the insurance companies have realized that when we're involved in a case, we do prepare that case as if it will go to trial. And we aren't afraid to take a case to trial. The insurance company keeps a book on the lawyers. There's a lot of lawyers out there that yell and scream and they pound their chest and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But they haven't seen an inside of a courtroom maybe in 30 to 40 years. And the insurance industry knows that. Well, with us, it's a little different.
For your free consultation from the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, call 724-658-8535 or visit them online at lgkg.com. Navigating healthcare should be easy. Heritage Valley Medical Neighborhoods offer the care you need most in one convenient location. Access walk-in clinics, primary care, lab, diagnostic imaging, and other services at one of Heritage Valley's 7 medical neighborhoods. There's no need to travel far for quality healthcare. Find a medical neighborhood near you at heritagevalley.org. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
And returning one more time for our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show. We'll go on out of the finals that we have. Maybe Malik Garrett has a couple new ones, but we'll let him and Bruce deliver those to you. But first of all, our CCBC players of the game. Especially hard to pick one player out for Beaver Falls, but that's the rule, and we have to do it. And it's a tough call, but I don't think. I mean, you could have gone Mekhi Clark, Jaron Brickner. I love the defensive performance by Damian Lee.
Damian Lee played a well.
Oh, he played a heck of a game. But we'll have you make the announcements,
Jason.
Jason.
First off, for New Brighton, I thought Keandre Williams made the best play by anybody all night long on the reception for the touchdown, literally stealing it from a defender and rambling, 60 yards or whatever for the score. That was unbelievable. So he did some other things, but that play alone catapulted him into the CCBC Player of the Game for New Brighton in a losing effort. But for Beaver Falls, throughout the course of the night, Trey Singleton just kept making play after play after play, and you couldn't overlook him. Both ends of the ball and just all over the place, making big-time plays for Beaver Falls. So Trey Singleton and Keandre Williams are CCBC Players of the Game in the Little Brown Jug affair.
And I think that's a hat trick for Keandre. That might be his third time that he's been named the winner for New Brighton. And Trey Singleton receives the award. They'll both be invited to a future Coach's Corner. We do it every Wednesday night from the studio on 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls at 7 p.m. So congrats go out to Keandre Williams of New Brighton and Trey Singleton of the winning Beaver Falls Fighting Tigers. The finals that we have from the Fry Transportation Update Desk, Moon defeats South Fayette 28-13. Mike Azadian and Bruce Fry had the call. And the Moon Tigers, along with the Beaver Falls Tigers, victories tonight on Beaver County Radio. And Moon stays undefeated. The number 1 ranked Moon Tigers win at 28-13 on WMBA. Other finals, Aliquippa 35, Beaver 7. Short Tears Valley 28, Blackhawk 13. Central Valley all over Quaker Valley 69-7. The first win, congratulations to New Ambridge head coach Sherman McBride, the Bridgers, a 35-9 victor over Hopewell. Mohawk 37, Riverside 0. Stow-Rocks stomp Southside 63-6. Still looking for finals, Bethel Park West Allegheny, Neshannock Elwood City, Western Beaver St. LaSalle, Cornell, and Union.
Yeah, and Bob, we can pass along 2 finals now for you. Cornell does defeat Union 34-22. That was a comeback for the Raiders. and West A falls to Bethel Park 26-10. Those are both finals.
Okay, so Malik and Bruce will have to work on the Shannick and Elwood City.
And Western Beaver and Seton LaSalle. Did you have that one as a final?
Game,
that is not a final yet.
Yeah, that I didn't have it as a final.
Nope.
And that's the only game that's still in the balance.
Correct.
Western Beaver was leading 19-13. The Shannick was up big over Elwood, just haven't had a final. That'll do it for us. We want to thank the fine work of our producer back at the studio, Malik Garrett, and the two gentlemen on site, Curtis Walsh and Gavin Reese. For Jason Colangelo, I'm Bob Barrickman. Final score, it was Beaver Falls 39, New Brighton 18, and on sister station WNBA, Moon 28, South Fayette 13. And the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show coming up in a few minutes. Good night from Oak Hill Field. It was a Tiger sweep. Moon and Beaver Falls on Beaver County Radio. Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show follows till 11. The Trib Live show till midnight. And more football tomorrow. Geneva, 2:30 airtime, hosting undefeated Washington and Jefferson. And tomorrow night, undefeated Laurel invades Freedom against the Bulldogs, 6:30 airtime. Good night, everyone, from Oak Hill Field on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
You're listening to high school football on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by Dr. C. Timothy Lip, clicklipdentistry.com, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, the Community College of Beaver County, Electric Garage Door Sales, and Falcones Moon Township Ford, among others. So because play is coming your way next, Beaver County Radio.